go to.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are now live on Sportzwire Radio, and boy, it was pretty lively last night. You might be wondering, well, how do we follow things up? Well, we're going to turn up the heat, and it'll be hotter than hell, I promise you, even more so than last night, because we have a lot to talk about when it comes to the IMF's latest show, Summer Heat, and how fitting we are talking about Summer Heat, because after all, it is the first partial day of summer. Tomorrow is the first full day of summer, and to kick things off for us as well, a man that could very well be talking about his fate in blood, or maybe his opponents, including one of those opponents who certainly lives in blood, and he is certainly coming off a very big victory in another promotion in WC, and we'll see if it's 2 for 2 in the last 2 weeks, and he's certainly got a lot on his mind. He's going to talk about that tag team match here coming up, and I am here with none other than Nicholas Crenson, nonchalant Nicholas Crenson, getting us ready for IMF's most upcoming show that you're going to see on the IMF's pages. It is called Summer Heat. And Nicholas, you get to be the lucky person to join us tonight. And let's talk about your match and what's ahead. Obviously, a lot of back and forth between you and Ox McCoy. And tell us what we can expect coming up here this Saturday, IMF Summer Heat. You and against Ox McCoy and Uric the Viking for those IMF hardcore titles.
Yeah, you mentioned something very key there. You said me against Ox McCoy and Uric. Yeah, as you can see right now, kind of absent right now is Darkfire, my tag team partner, and that's because he's kind of a big question mark because of the last show we just did for WCE.
Yep.
Like, if you watch the match he had with Jovi, he did his best. He fought like hell. He's the first person to kick out of the Bed of Roses ever.
Yeah, I mean, Vindication 3 was one heck of a show. No question about it. A lot of great stuff.
But the other thing, and when we were like, I was the one that figured it out. He injured his shoulder, and that was off of a cannonball because, sometimes you make mistakes when in wrestling, and he tried to block the cannonball, and you're trying to block a 300 and some pound man coming at you with your shoulder. That's gonna mess you up pretty bad.
Sure.
So right now he is a question mark. Luckily, I've been doing some talking around with people in the locker room because unlike Ox, unlike Uric, unlike most people in the fucking Saint Singers, pardon my French.
That's okay.
Yeah, at least when I fight people, I can earn their respect, and I kind of don't like to make myself a complete bridge to nowhere.
No question about that. There's a lot of things that you make valid points, and you've got momentum in your own right, but, Ox McCoy, this is kind of his house, and sure, people can say different things about what happened the last time you were in a ring with him, but this is still a man that I would certainly tread very lightly with some of the things you may say, but I guess from your vantage point, you're after all nonchalant Nicholas Crenson, so you're going to obviously go about this in a nonchalant way.
Oh, definitely. I'm going to go about this in a nonchalant way because why let the small things bother you? Why let the small things when there are bigger pictures at play here? And that bigger picture right now for me is the IMF Hardcore Tag Team titles. But I'm kind of making myself a hypocrite here because this is a little personal. And I have been taking jabs at Ox about the fact that he's basically gone. Escaped as soon as blood hit, or as soon as he gets busted open, he is completely dead. But Ox, you say, you're going to do all this stuff to me and all that, blah, blah, blah. Buddy, buy me dinner first, and I will talk. But also, Ox, you started this. This could have been just a fight of us just beating the hell out of each other. And no need for personal grievances and all that stuff. But you made it personal when you took a chair to my leg at Rage in the Cage. You almost took away a moment that I've been waiting for my whole career, my first ever cage match because you decided to take a chair because you and Yurik were scared. You were scared that we were going to take those belts off of you. But you managed to handicap me, and now I'm kind of, I'm fully healed, but I'm kind of missing my backup. So, Ox, whatever you have to say further, I'm actually interested to see, because I'm kind of curious at what level your head is at right now.
Well, let me ask you this question before we actually get to something there, and I'll get to a bunch of comments here shortly. We're going to try to go as quick as possible. We have a slew of people that are going to be on the show tonight to talk about their matches coming up at Saturday's show. And what would it mean to you to be one half of the IMF Hardcore Tag Team Champions?
What it would mean to me is, and pardon me, I have to eat, I'm diabetic. It would mean the world to me because it's step one. It's step one. You got to understand this in both. I'm going to break kayfabe here, but this is both, kayfabe and both real life. It means two things to me. It means that I am getting the opportunity to show what I can do with a championship. And the other thing,
you've only won one championship, one major championship in the last 18 years. I mean, it's been, gold has eluded you throughout this run.
And it also, yes, and that's one thing also, it's like gold eludes me. But it's also the first step to my goal to become one of the best in IMF. I'm not coming here to say I deserve every championship. I'm coming to IMF. I have come to IMF for the simple goal to earn every single title that I get. And I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. And the best place to start is with the Hardcore Tag Team Championships. Now, unfortunately for Ox McCoy and Yurik the Viking, they happen to be the ones that are holding it.
They certainly are the ones that have it, and we'll see if you can actually gain those championships. And let me get to a bunch of comments here. And actually, you know what? Before we do that, it looks like I'm going to be able to play something that has a response. In fact, a response you might want to say for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio. That might very well be, you might want to say a message in blood. Maybe it'll be a Rain in Blood message, and I'm going to be able to play it right here, it looks like. So it looks like my screen should be loading, and you're going to get it because Ox McCoy, the man who figuratively and literally eats, sleeps, drinks, and bathes blood, a man that sends all of his messages in blood. And he certainly reigns in blood as one half of the IMF Hardcore Tag Team Champions, and he is obviously a very well-respected wrestler in the hardcore deathmatch scene. It's a scene, Nicholas Crenton, that you may not have the same expertise in, but I'm going to certainly get right to the point because Mr. McCoy would like to give his message, and for those that are listening and watching, especially fans of the Saints and Sinners, and Ox McCoy, let's get right to it.
Now you're dead.
Nicholas Crenton, you say my dad should have pulled out? Son, you and Darkfire need to pull out of Summer Heat right now. Because when I'm done with you, in comparison, Terry Schiavo is going to look like Shawn Michaels.
Ooh.
Boy, I've said it once. I'll say it again. You're fucked.
Ooh, short, sweet, simple, and to the point. Ox McCoy has said, basically, you may not have the same luck that you have had with the likes of Craven Rage. You have now stepped into a hardcore and a world full of blood. And what is your response?
My response is, as I said earlier, Ox, if you seriously think I am, pardon my French, fucked, good luck with that. But also buy me dinner first, buddy. You gotta bring in the foreplay first. But also, Ox, you kind of forget who to. No, I'm gonna list off one of the people that trained me. There's a guy that passed away a couple years ago by the name of Damon Knight. He is one of the most violent men I have ever been in the ring with. You talk about bleeding blood. I have seen this dude not only bleed buckets, I've seen him bleed so much that Eddie Guerrero got jealous of him because of how much blood he was spilling. I've seen him and my other trainer, Bizzo Blaze, go to war and beat the ever-living shit out of each other. Not over a championship, but just to see who was the better man. I have seen him go to war with Tim Mecca, and Tim Mecca is another legend of the backyard.
Tim Mecca, Damon Knight are great. They're great guys. We've talked about them on this platform, but this is a guy, and I got you. You know I love you, but Ox McCoy is in the lane of the likes of tomorrow's guest and the likes of Judge Joe Dredd, XPW, Brian White, who just defeated some guy named Jimmy Controversy. He's in the lane of the likes of Mikey Anarchy, Obey, Kato, Mac 10, Radu Bulat in the UK, Necro Daddy. I mean, he's in that lane, and it's great. I love what you've done. But Ox McCoy, it's like going to the big leagues of hardcore deathmatch wrestlers. And the question's going to be, especially now with this issue of what happens with your tag team partner, can you be able to compete with a man, again, that's a very respected figure? Let me repeat the names that he's basically contemporaries with. Kato, Mac 10, the landlord of Sportzwire Radio, Jimmy Controversy, Hardcore, Obey, Mikey Anarchy, Judge Joe Dredd, who's here tomorrow, 11 o'clock, cheap plug, 9 p.m. Eastern time, Brian White, who just defeated Mr. Controversy, Radu Bulat. These are guys that people see every week, whether it's IATV, whether it's anywhere else that they get their sources of information, and that's going to be the question.
That is good. You know, you do make a good point. He's in that same talking point as people like Kato, as people like Mac 10, who I just watched those two beat the ever-living hell out of each other at Resi Pro, like a Jimmy Controversy, like a Necro Daddy. And this is almost like
who's very well probably here soon. I can't say the exact details, but the point is that you've got to be able to prove yourself. It's easy what you've done in WCE. WCE is what it is, but now you're stepping up with a man that, you know, guys all over the hardcore scene up. So that's going to be the question. You know what? Let me ask you this before I get to closing thoughts. What are your final words for Ox McCoy and Yurik the Viking ahead of Saturday's show at Summer Heat?
It's the indie deathmatch scene versus the OG yard scene. Because here's the thing. Yes, I'm more, I'm making a name for myself now, but I go all the way back to 04. I am born from the generation of yard areas, of the old Iowa backyard scene, of the old Wisconsin backyard scene. Seems like FBWA, YWL, UCW, and also Psychoped. But I'm not taking this lightly, Ox. You want to kill me, and I love it. I welcome it, buddy. But just remember, it's kind of hard to kill somebody who's already died 3 times.
Well, we'll certainly find out. Let me get to some comments real quick before I get to your final words. And to be joining us right after those, it'll be Sean Jovi, the resident rock star at Ace Diamond, representing Prince Achia. We'll have a lot to talk about there for the next 10 or so minutes. Hello there, Michael Christian. Michael, of course, is a big product of things over in XCW. They have Extreme King. We were supposed to actually have somebody be here that was the XCW New Age champion, supposed to be the final member of the foundation to be in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, maybe he slept. Who knows? But Justin Parsing, who will be here at the end of the show. I'm late. It's all we can talk about. Maybe he's saving a kitten. Maybe you were. Maybe you weren't. Who knows? What's going on, Dark Cron? I want to say hello to you. Obviously, Summer Bash is coming up. Zilla's got a whole bunch of comments. And Zilla, kiss my grits turn. I don't know what Zilla is, but hello, Zilla. My boy Ox McCoy, of course, they're in the Saints and Sinners, so they're certainly teamed up. Hello there to Bop and Wap. I think I know you, but regardless, hello there. Pull out Krent. Yeah, a lot of people are saying right now, listen, what will you have win? Crenton, what did you yourself get into? Good question. I want to say hello to my buddy Scorpion the Assassin. Obviously, Scorpion is a big part of things over in DBW and UWF and a little bit of VTW. Kick the tires and light the fires. Buckle up for this match. Yeah, pretty much. That's what I would pretty much say the same thing. Couldn't have said it better myself. Il Drago, who we're going to be talking about in a little while in that 6-man tag. He's praying with you. I think a lot of people are. And DG Colt is not a big fan of what you had to say, but I'm giving you the floor, giving you some closing thoughts. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say, fire away.
Ox, you have fallen right into where I wanted you to be, and I want you to be this angry, bitter, ginger Irish bastard that you are, because when you're angry, you make mistakes, buddy, and I'm good at playing mind games with you. So, Ox, when we get in the ring, I know you're going to try to bloody me up like no tomorrow. I know you're going to try to break me. I know you're probably going to try to break my leg again, but it's not going to happen. And there's one thing I have over you, and I have the ultimate move. Because once I lock it in, that's usually the end for you.
Well, the storyline will be here is one guy who says he's been dead already 3 times, and the other guy who figuratively, literally bathes, eats, sleeps, drinks blood. His messages are all in blood. He definitely reigns in blood. We'll see it all unfold this Saturday, the IMF Summer Heat for those IMF Hardcore Tag Team Championships. It'll be Nicholas Crenson and to be determined who tag teams with him against Yurik the Viking and Ox McCoy and Craven Rage, who apparently has risen, I guess, from speaking of the dead. And is he Sinister, Craven Rage? Which one is it? It doesn't make a difference. He says you're going to need it. And my audio and microphone, I'm not sure what's the problem. If you tell me what the problem is, and I'll try to fix it. But until then, thank you, Mr. Crenson. I need to move on. I got a slew of other people. Enjoy the meal, and hopefully you play some Atari until Saturday, because that's always a good system to play. All right, that's Nicholas Crenson. And that's Nicholas Crenson. And to join us once again, it is representing, more or less, Mr. Prince Achia, and of course the resident rock star himself. He is the WC Interstate Openweight Champion. It's Mr. Sean Jovi, and against Prince Achia, and representing Prince Achia. In fact, you're going to see him the next at least 45 to 50 minutes or so, at least on this platform, Mr. Ace Diamond, who certainly was making some waves last week in the AEW show over there in Iowa, and hopefully Ace Diamond got AEW some more fans after some of the things he had to say, but I'll certainly leave that out for a different conversation. Fellas, good to be with you. I'm going to start out actually with you, Mr. Diamond, first, because you're representing Mr. Achia. And for those that are listening and watching here, tell us what we can expect coming up here at Summer Heat between, obviously, one of the men you represent, Mr. Achia, against the Foundations and Sportswire's and everybody's resident rock star, Sean Jovi.
The Foundation. Oh, my God, that's all I ever hear. The diamonds in the rough. That's where it's at. No. That not around me. Oh, you got Mephisto doing that, Jovi. I don't like it. You know, the diamonds in the rough are on the up. I don't care. Jovi, I don't care if you got a belt. I don't care if you're that so-called king. My prince is going to slay you.
Your prince that walked out on our match, on his and my match, for King of the Center. He could have been King of the Center if he maybe stayed in. But you just took him away. I told him, no, you're not a king. You're going to stay a prince. You're locking the man down just like you're locking down Mephisto.
Don't put lies. Don't make false accusations like that, Jovi. Even I know you're a little bit better than that. Come on.
Well, yeah, I'm so good. I put you through a table last month by squishing your pancake ass.
I forgot about that. I think you did some damage to my brain. You're lucky I haven't sued you over that.
Hey, I'm glad it's that, not the drugs, man.
I don't do drugs. I am a straight guy.
You know, Ace, you made an interesting point. I want to go back to it, obviously, for a few minutes, because everybody talks about the foundation, but right now, from what I've seen, at least in the last few weeks in the IMF, the foundation pushed back a little bit. They've been pushed back with your group. They've been pushed back with the Saints and Sinners. Obviously, I know it's a totally different dynamic with them, and we'll get Justin Parsley to talk about that in the main event here of tonight's show. But, I mean, in a way, I mean, you guys got an opportunity here, you know, knocking off the resident rock star with Prince, and he comes back in the ring, and, you know, you can say, you know what, maybe is this the start of kind of maybe a downtrend, more or less, of the foundation if you guys have your way, and that could start off very well with Prince Achia?
Well, it's definitely an uptrend for the Diamonds. And if the foundation goes down in the process, so be it, I guess. You know, it's just, I don't ask for people to be put in our way. I see gold. I see challenges that I want to take. And then whoever's there, it don't matter. I don't care if it's Jovi. I don't care if it's someone else. It doesn't matter. It's if you're keeping me and my Diamonds from our goals, we're going to take you down.
You know, Sean Jovi, we've known each other a long time. We've known each other for just about 2 years now. It's actually just about 2 years later in the month of July. And I'm curious here, and the audio is too loud. It's making my ears bleed. Well, I think the audio sounds just fine. If anybody else wants to talk about the audio, let me know. Otherwise, Zilla, you're welcome to change the channel. Sean Jovi, I'm going to give you the opportunity, though, to make a point. The foundation has a make-or-break weekend, some would say. You've got this match here that obviously a lot is on the line. You've got your brothers are certainly in big matches. Omen Black actually wrestling one of his own and Jason Storm. Soldier GP and Justin Parsley. This war has been going on for months. But do you feel like that this is a make-or-break kind of weekend for you guys, more or less, in the foundation?
You know, a lot of people could say that. There's a lot of pressure on the foundation in general. And that's because we are amongst the most elite faction in the backyard and underground scene to date. Better than some from the past. I would even say they're better than some of the greatest stables in this industry, like old stables like The Awakening, old people's like Conspiracy Theory Kids. There was a lot of them back in the day. But none of them match up to the foundation, and none of them, especially Diamonds in the Rough, will ever match up to the foundation. If the foundation were to happen to lose, you see, losing sucks, right?
But you guys aren't used to it, though. You guys have not been used to it.
We're not used to it. And losing sucks. But at the end of the day, we're still a family. And you know what it is, my man.
Absolutely. Oh, no question about it. But I think there is a point to be made. And Prince Achia, a man who's got a lot to prove also in his own right, a man that obviously has been right at the corner of major success in the IMF and win over you, that certainly puts him in a lot of the things he said. So, you know what? Yeah, he was right after all. And, you know, for some of Ace's clients, but we're going to talk about Mephisto and Isaiah Rage. We're going to certainly talk about Justin Parsley and his story. And, you know, even the foundation fighting each other with Omen Black and Jason Storm. It's a weird time for the foundation. This is kind of the weirdest time that I can recall the foundation has ever in. And this could be one of those weekends that you remember for a long time. Is it Alamo's last stand, or is this basically a blimp in the radar for the foundation? Who knows? We're going to find out. That's the case. Let me get to a bunch of comments before I give you guys each some final words. Thank you very much. I appreciate that the audio is much better. Thank you, Zilla, for your concerns on the audio. We will certainly try our best. Sometimes it also depends on whose guest is on and things like that. I want to also say hello to Andrew Lovelace, who some of you guys will be meeting at Summer Bash 2 weeks from now. He says, hello, gentlemen. I definitely want to say hello to you. Want to say hello to Isaiah Rage, who I'm supposed to have you, I think, with you, Mr. Diamond and Mr. Mephisto coming up here very soon. And also, I appreciate El Drago. We're going to be talking about shortly as well. So, okay, you know what? I'm going to go with this here. Let me go with you first, Mr. Diamond, and I want to let you have the opportunity to ask the resident rock star, Sean Jovi, any question of your choice.
Any question. What makes you think
I'm opening it up to you.
What makes you think you can beat Prince? Yeah, he walked out on your match, but you know, that's just a part of the mind games. He didn't need that win. You know, you needed that crown, honestly. My clients didn't need to be king of the center. My clients have Ace Diamond. So what makes you think you can beat Prince when the last time you were against one of my clients, Mephisto, you couldn't win.
I mean, that is true. I did not beat Mephisto, but I did beat him for the crown. So him and I are 1-on-1. One day we'll have that rubber match, and I can't wait for the day that comes. But we're on Prince of Chia now, Mr. Chia, your little Chia pet himself. Oh my God, Ace, I don't know how you're a manager. You make this client of yours walk out on my match, giving me the automatic victory. Big mistake. You see, he couldn't have been a prince. He could have been king of Chia if it wasn't for you. I don't know why he's on your side. I think he's a fool, because if it wasn't for your guidance, maybe he would have been Soldier GP last month. Maybe you're the one misguiding your talent, like little Freddie Daniels, my protege,
Your protege.
the vlog protege.
The rough of
Freddie's
diamonds
vlog.
in the rough.
Yeah, well, maybe he'd be better off with a real star, the resident rock star.
You know what?
Today.
Well, you know what? I just heard something interesting before I was going to let Mr. Jovi ask that question. We'll get to closing thoughts, and Ace is going to hang out with us because we have Freddie Daniels coming on to talk about the 6-man tag that we're going to see shortly. But
bad for you, Tom.
Well, I don't think you haven't seen any. Well, maybe you've seen this past week on Sportswire with some of the shows we've had. Yesterday was certainly, some people would have said this, other people would have said that. We've had some certainly interesting shows, but that's how it goes here. We're live on the radio. But, you said something interesting. Actually, I'm going to go back to before I give you that opportunity to ask Mr. Diamond something. So you're telling me then, Sean Jovi, conversely, with some of the troubles that Diamonds in the Rough are going through when it comes to Mephisto and Isaiah Rage, and obviously Prince of Chia. You saying from your vantage point that Prince of Chia could be King of Chia, very possibly, if it wasn't for, let's say, or the maybe the wrong or the right advice that should have been given to Mr. Achia. Are you telling me then conversely that this is kind of a make or break weekend for the Diamonds in the Rough, and this could figuratively, literally be for the Diamonds in the Rough? Well, kind of like diamonds when they're basically being tormented, almost broken and kind of fragmented into little pieces, to the point that we may not see much of the Diamonds in the Rough after this size. Is that what you're telling me conversely?
Well, a lot of people say the foundation has their back against the corner. I say the Diamonds in the Rough are as equally in that corner as we are. After this weekend, we'll see what team's better. But I can guarantee you that you already know what it is, Tom.
4 up, 4 down, and we were supposed to actually have the last member of the foundation in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, and maybe it's actually better he's not in the Hall of Fame, but I'm going to certainly leave that. We'll certainly see toward the end of the show. But Mr. Jovi, conversely, before I get to closing thoughts, do you have anything that you would like to ask Mr. Diamond, so you can obviously send a message to Mr. Achia since he's not here tonight?
Honestly, before I ask the question, I got to add, I know I'm going to be a Chia because I can jump rope more than 10 times.
What can't you do? You're a vlogger. You're obviously doing so many different things. But
if I can't jump rope 10 times, at least I can do a suicide dive. So I still think I'm way better than Ace and is a Chia pet. Ace, my question for you is, what's going to happen next once all your diamonds fall apart this weekend? What's next for you? Are you going to go on the unemployment line, try and get a job at McDonald's? Are you going to try and weasel some other people and form a new faction? Maybe you want to be like Chris Jericho, the guy who blocked you on Twitter or X or whatever. You see, I saw that sign on Dynamite, man. I saw you in the crowd. Ace Fears Jericho is more like it, because you said Jericho fears you.
That's not right.
Nobody fears you, Ace. Me especially. I definitely don't.
Well, we saw what Soldier did a few months ago, so we know that already. That's obviously history in itself. But all right, that's a fair point, Mr. Jovi. I'll give you that.
You want to know what's going to happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen. Nothing, because your scenario isn't going to happen. I'll tell you what, Tom. The only audio issues that I'm hearing is the bullshit coming from Jovi's end, because we're not going to crumble. We're not going to crumble. We're going to be stronger than ever. It's going to start the victory over you. It's going to continue all throughout the night.
Well, we'll certainly find out. And if you want to get involved in the IMF, that is their YouTube page. They have almost 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. So let's help them get over the finish line. Let's obviously support and buy a ticket. I am actually buying my ticket when I'm off the air. So if you'd like to support the IMF, you can go to their Facebook page, Iowa Midwest Federation Wrestling, and please support them. They're also on Instagram as well. So definitely check them out. And I see a little bit of back and forth between Nicholas Crenson and Andrew Lovelace, but Nicholas Crenson's got to first focus if he can survive Ox McCoy and what he has to go through. But I'm going to let, obviously, you guys get to closing thoughts. I'm going to let you, Ace, first go with closing thoughts on what you want to say for Prince Achia. Obviously, you're going to hang out with us because Freddie Daniels is coming here shortly, but is there anything you want to add as closing thoughts on behalf of Prince Achia?
Well, I've noticed this entire time Jovi has been trying to put a little rift between my diamonds, and he's even trying to hint like, oh, they're gonna crumble this weekend. It's like, you got to do that, Joe. You got to try to break us up because that's all you can do. You don't see Ace talking smack about the foundation. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I'm not trying to break y'all up. I'm just trying to beat y'all up.
I mean, kind of an unbreakable bond, my dude. It goes deeper than
so do we.
I'm starting to sense that, you know what, this is going to be another reason why you need to buy a ticket. You need to support the IMF because this is going to be a very, very interesting show. But it's, again, to me, I think the storyline is going to be throughout this weekend with these different groups, the Saints and Sinners. Will they claim? Will Diamonds in the Rough prove that they're the group that everybody should be looking at? Is the foundation really unbreakable? Is the foundation this forever family, or is the foundation about to maybe go in a downward spiral, to quote Nine Inch Nails? Is the foundation the group that they've been for the better part of the past 18 months, the most dominant faction right now in all of backyard and underground wrestling? We'll have to see it. Anything else, our resident rock star, for you in closing thoughts? I'm sure we'll get you back before the next WCE show as well. And anything else you want to add before I let Mr. Daniels come on? Your, I guess, protege in vlogging, you might want to say that you might want to say.
Yeah, he's my what's the word I'm thinking of? Apprentice. The next Sean Jovi.
Protege, apprentice. You can say a lot of that.
Yeah. He's my little Jovi. He's going to be the future Sean Jovi when I retire.
That's a long time.
But he has to get away from Ace first. That's kind of
over my dead body. Over my dead body.
It's getting interesting now. It is getting interesting. It's now, this is why this is the show that you need to see. This is the true official start of summer. Everybody's talking about a heat wave. Everybody's talking about a heat wave is taking the nation by storm. Everything is hotter than hell. This show last night, maybe it saw more heat than anything else, figuratively and literally. But you know what? At the end of the day, Sean Jovi and Prince Achia is going to be another reason why you want to be there at the Palo Community Center. You have to be there. You have no excuses. The kids are already seen Inside Out 2. Ride or Die Bad Boys was already out. You saw it at least twice, maybe 3 times. You don't want to go to the mall. You want to be here and say, forget about the barbecue, forget about going to the ball game, kids, maybe to put them in, day camp for a day, whatever it might be, and just go out and buy a ticket. And if you want to as well, support Sean Jovi. That's his YouTube channel, Jovi's Vlog. He's getting close to 1,000 subscribers. He's also putting together the old Global Backyard Wrestling Network. You're going to see some of that here on Sportswire Radio. He's going to help out with the Promo Wrestling Federation. We're going to start that back up soon in the next couple of weeks. This man's also one of the integral parts of Summer Bash, and I said it last night on this show when we're talking about all the things. If this DBW thing is really going to happen and bringing a part of our community, Sean Jovi is one of the examples of what the power of Sportswire Radio and this platform does. It's guys like Sean Jovi who have gone out there and reinvented the wheel. It's guys like Sean Jovi that have had a rejuvenation, a fountain of youth, a fountain of over 10 years ago. That's why you want to go out there and support Sean Jovi and everybody else out there. I want to say before Sean Jovi goes, I want to say a little to the Grim Reaper, Joe Anderson, of course, the former, I guess I could say it, UWA and TBW world champion, who I hope would come on this platform here one day. Maybe he'll get himself sorted out in TBW. They have a big show coming up this Saturday. It's going to be called Rampage 164. It's 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Please check out our friends in TBW right over there. And also, I have a couple more comments. The Foundation have been cracked since soldiers snaked the world title away from Omen. Interesting. Is there dissension from within? Very good question.
Also, I'm a guy that I beat twice.
But Nicholas Crenson, well, you're different than Nicholas Crenson. I don't know if Nicholas Crenson's going to have the same luck that you had, but maybe time will tell. But yeah, so you think? I mean, yeah, we'll have to find out. But Mr. Jovi, it is always good to see you here. It's always good to have you home. But I'm going to let you run for now because I got a slew of guys to hear from, and I want to keep Mr. Diamond here respectfully. Thank you for your support, Sean, and we'll see you soon. I'm going to bring up somebody I'm sure you're more happier to see, Mr. Diamond. That is none other than, of course, Freddie Daniels, who's the FC. I got you. I got you. I got to introduce you. I got to introduce you.
Real quick.
Real quick. I got to say hello, formerly the RCW champion. Now you have the floor.
All right. Now, Tom, come on. You had the resident guitar hero, John Jovi, on here. You had Nicky Crenson come on here crying about his trainer. Boo-hoo. Your trainer's dead. Get over it. How about we talk about the 22nd, huh?
I'm absolutely going to talk about the 22nd, which is why I got you here right now. And you're going to be part of a pretty big match with some different players.
Tell the people who my team is. All right, we got the River State Dog, Freddie Daniels. How you doing? You know, I'm gonna have my muscle, the Blonde Don, in there, and we're gonna have another Diamond, El Drago, in there. All I see for this 22nd match is that I'm going to come out on top.
Well, you certainly got the confidence. You've certainly got the bravado. And obviously, we'll see if the Midwest Express and King Josiah will certainly may want to have a rain check and find something else to do this coming weekend. But obviously, Ace, you got to be much more confident in this particular instance because you've got really Freddie Daniels is, to his credit, one of the, I think, premier up-and-coming stars of this 2024 year in backyard underground wrestling. I think if you were to take a poll of people who would probably be at the top of that list in terms of up-and-coming stars, Freddie Daniels, for my money, might be at the top of that list, and you got to be feeling really good about this match.
Always feeling real good about this match. You know, it's funny. Sean Jovi is trying to, take credit for Freddie Daniels when Freddie's got Ace Diamond to thank for that, Yeah, he's giving a little bit of spot on his blog, which I think I'm going to subscribe and unsubscribe to just a little bit. But, that's it. Like, I'm there for him. I'm giving him that support, helping him out. I almost, if I would have pulled him a little bit sooner out of that cage last show, he would have won. I messed up. I waited a little too long. But, even Ace Diamond makes mistakes.
You didn't pull me out too soon. You didn't pull me out too late. You pulled me out right on time. I was definitely the winner in that. I mean, the crowd seen it. The refs seen it. I mean,
unfortunately, I hear you. Unfortunately, it's, in the record books, they don't give you those do-overs. Well, it is what it is. Tell me about it. But I think at the end of the day, you've got an opportunity to right some wrongs. And you've obviously got that with the Midwest Express and King Josiah, and you got to be excited about Il Drago and Blonde Don and talk about what they're going to bring to this match.
Yeah, well, Josiah shouldn't even be in there. Like I said, I beat him last month. He shouldn't be. He's slithering his way into these matches somehow. And the Midwest Express, you said they were
the Midwest
call them themselves to the future. Well, guess what? Like I've been saying, it's the present, and the present's right here. And then the other one's calling himself a goddamn animal. Come on, what, a goat? Really? Come on.
Well, I guess obviously you're the one that's got the championship belt with the history and the title that a lot of people would like to have in the Midwest, figuratively and literally. So you've got the gold, and whether it becomes anything into it after this, we'll certainly start that. Let me go with this here, Freddie. Do you have any final words for, let's say, the Midwest Express and King Josiah? Anything you want to say in final words or anything in particular to them before I turn it back over to Ace Diamond?
The only words I got for all of them is the best thing you guys can do is burn some rubber and not show up on the 22nd. Because Freddie Daniels, his muscle, the Blonde Don, and El Drago, we're going to put you down if you do show up.
Short, sweet, simple, and to the point, and that's why you want to go out there and buy a ticket. If you'd like to buy a ticket, it's the Iowa Midwest Federation's Facebook page, Iowa Midwest Federation Wrestling. They're also on YouTube, IMF Wrestling 666. They're closing in on 2,000 subscribers. We'll put the link up here once again shortly. They're also on Instagram. Please support them, IMF_Wrestling, and buy a ticket. I have bought my ticket, so if you're out there, you want to watch Freddie Daniels kick some butt, you want to watch Ace Diamond, maybe he's the best manager right now in all of Backyard Underground Wrestling. You want to see him. You want to see Mephisto and Isaiah Rage, who are coming up here next. You can definitely do that by going out, and all it is $10. At this point, $10 is all it takes to go out to the Palo Community Center. The Palo Community Center is the place to be. But let me get to some comments, because a lot of people do want to talk, and I want to be able to at least read those comments while you're here, Freddie. Apparently, somebody wants to tell you Ace just needs to go home, and Freddie, you should just stop talking. I don't know who this is in pertaining to you, but they certainly have an opinion that's not too favorable of you. I don't know.
I hear from a fan.
Oh, well, yeah, certainly a fan. Freddie Fettuccini. I don't know if that's a family comment.
Don't talk about my fans, okay? Don't talk about my fans.
Yeah, that's obviously Darkron there. Hey, Ace, sit up straight, you bum. Ox McCoy is not too thrilled with you right now, Ace. I don't know. What did you do to Ox McCoy?
I don't know. I had Freddie help him at Levi McDaniel's fight promotions. I helped Freddie help him.
I saw what he did to Jordan. That's by the way. All I'm gonna say is this.
How are we the bums?
I gotta say, I gotta say this. I saw the clip on Instagram of what Ace, Ace. I saw the clip of what Ox McCoy did to Jordan. That's, Nicholas currently talk about the Wisconsin backyard wrestling scene of like 2009 and 10. With all due respect, Ox McCoy is on another level right now. So whatever Ox says, I'm just agreeing with it, because he is really in the lane of guys who are coming back to this platform and guys who are coming here for the first time tomorrow, which is the likes of Judge Joe Dredd and Brian White, who was just on IWA Deep South Southern Outlaws. That's all I got to say about that. I don't know what I lied about, but obviously Ox is calling Freddie Fettuccini, and also yes,
Ox Fettuccinis are my fans. How do people not know this?
Freddie, the lies that come out of your mouth.
Oh, Freddie Daniels doesn't lie. Okay, Jackson, whoever you are.
And Freddie, I would have beat. I think Freddie, it says Freddie, I would have beat you 1-on-1 if you didn't cheat, and I would win. I think you're scared that you're going to lose.
Is that Josiah?
I suppose so. I guess that's somebody.
Hey, Josiah, we gotta do some research on this. Hey, figure that out. What is Josiah even doing here? He doesn't deserve to be in my presence, even on a talk show.
Yeah, I don't even care enough to research it, Freddie. That's a little piece.
And it's confirmed, by the way, that we are talking to King Josiah. King Josiah is actually here, and King Josiah would actually like to make those points clear. So I guess that King Josiah. And also, Il Drago wants to say, tell him, Freddie. I will tell you this much, Freddie. Il Drago, I am very excited to see what Il Drago can do in the ring in this match, because Il Drago, I think, is one of those players that we're going to be talking about in a few months from now. That's going to be also an up-and-comer, maybe another addition here to the Diamonds in the Rough. We were talking about maybe last before. Oh, well, I was going to say, compared to what everybody was talking about, maybe the Diamonds in the Rough are going to be fragmented. Well, you've got new members now. You got some size. You got some agility now. And, maybe it's the foundation that are on the hill. The foundation have nothing to do with this match. But the point is that, what? You guys are adding numbers by the day. And, Freddie, maybe you're going to look like more of a genius than people would have to maybe think.
Why are you bringing up the foundation? I keep hearing this stuff about the foundation. They keep
saying I'm bringing it up because I can bring up anything. Freddie, I'm going to cut you off. Freddie! Sit down. I'm going to talk right now before I let you go. Freddie, if I mute you, Freddie, I'll mute you next time. But Freddie, the point is this. You're going to sit down here. You're going to listen to me, especially after last time when Mr. Judgment tried to basically cut me off. That doesn't work. Freddie, the reason I bring it up is because you guys are the ones that could very well, after this weekend, be the premier group. Everybody talks about the foundation, but now look at what you've got. Look at what you've got to the table, And if the way things work out to your advantage, what my point was trying to have come across was that the foundation are going to be yesterday's news. Today's news and next week's news is going to be the diamonds in the rough if you guys have it your way. Also,
now you're talking about some diamonds. See?
That's why you got to let me finish, Freddie. That's why I'm trying to give you got to let me finish. I promise you like some things, I say others. That's kind of how it goes. Okay, I think obviously King Josiah is not too happy. Isaiah Rage, you have my attention. Craven Rage said Nicholas Crenson is not ready for that pain. I actually agree with Craven Rage on this one for a change. Also here, well, that's a whole nother discussion, and I'm sure we'll hear about that. Il Drago is a definitely up-and-coming star. Yes, he is definitely a diamond in the rough, and no, we're all good. Il Drago, everybody's good, everybody's cool. Ace, do you want to have any final words on behalf of Il Drago and Blondon before I let Freddie move on, because Mephisto's about ready to talk?
Well, Il Drago, you're right. He is an up-and-comer. He said a few months. I say less than that. He's going to be a big star. Maybe this match will be the breakout for him.
I agree with you. I think he could be the breakout star of the second half of the 2024 Backyard Underground Wrestling Circuit. No question about it. I completely agree. That's why I think you guys might have another diamond here that could propel you guys to be figuratively and literally the biggest group maybe in the Backyard and the Underground if the way things are going for your advantage. I couldn't agree with you more on that, Ace.
Absolutely. And then the Blondon, I don't know much about him. I've seen a little bit of him, and he has potential. I feel confident in his skills.
Don't worry about it. He's my muscle.
I'm not worried about it. That's what I'm not worried about.
I got a guy. I got a couple guys. Who knows if I'll bring the other one?
I've heard that before from my neck of the woods. I've heard that many times. As coming from Brooklyn, I've always heard that. So you fit in well. Let me get to a few more comments before I let you say sayonara, Freddie. And obviously, we want everybody to support the IMF. I want to put this up on the screen one more time because I'm supporting the show, and I want people to make sure that they support the IMF as well. You can do that right here at the link. All you want to do is hit that sub button for the guys. Get in touch with them. Please support them. This is a wonderful, wonderful company, a wonderful roster of people that are here for the right reasons. They are integral for everything that we do here in the Backyard and the underground scene. I put my money on Diamonds in the Rough. Andrew Loveless is pretty impressed, so you got that going into your favors. Love Andrew Loveless. Justin Parsley says Freddie's got the best. I even go further, Freddie. I think you got the best jacket maybe in all of Backyard and Underground Wrestling right now. I don't know if anybody's got a jacket like yours.
Parsley got a pretty good jacket,
Justin Parsley's got a good one, but you've had it longer, I think. So we'll certainly come back to that. I want to say hello to my guest. Please, everybody, give him a big round of applause tomorrow from IWA Deep South, the legendary hardcore star, Mr. Brian White, who just defeated Jimmy Controversy there. Hello. I'm going to see you at 9 o'clock Eastern time. Also, Isaiah, leave the cross-eyed. I can't repeat all of that. Silver Wolf deserves nothing. That's the wrong show, Ox. That's the wrong show. And also, Craven Rage. I respect Il Drago, who gave me a good match. Hopefully, I'll see him again. And maybe we will see that. I agree with Zill. I love the jacket. And I think King Josiah is not impressed, but we'll have to see. Freddie, I know you're a busy man.
What are you still doing here? Come on.
Well, I'm about to say, I'm going to take him off the screen. But, Freddie, it's good to see you, champ. Well, he might burn rubber in the ring coming up here in about 46 hours from now, give or take. But, Freddie, good to see you, my friend. Congratulations on the success. Congratulations on all the vlogging. We will definitely see you in the ring Saturday and next month. And keep up the good work, my friend.
You too, Tom.
All right, buddy. That was Freddie Daniels. Obviously, Freddie is one of your other talents and stars in the Diamonds in the Rough. And I'm about to bring on here another one of your members who's supposed to be wrestling another one of your members here. And of course, there's Mephisto, the IMF U.S. champ. And it's always good to see Mephisto, the only other person that has better lights than me on any of these shows. And Mephisto, good to see you, my friend. And help me understand what we're going to see, because Ace, you're in kind of a dubious position here, and I'm almost afraid to ask you what you're going to do, and tell us what we can expect.
Well, there's no reason to be afraid, Tom, because my Diamonds are having a little bit of an issue right now. The brothers are fighting a little bit, but Daddy Diamond, he's going to set it all straight. I'm calling it down the middle. They just need to get their punches out. They just need to get it all loose, and we'll be back. We'll be fine.
Mephisto, give me your thoughts going into this. Kind of a rather, I guess, bizarre situation. We've kind of seen this, a little bit of tension between you and Isaiah Rage. And how you feeling going into Saturday?
Well, brother, first of all, I just want to say, hey, Tom, how you been, brother? It's been a while. It's good to see you.
I know it has been a while. Good to see you, my friend. How you doing?
But back to the matter at hand, brother. You see, the problem is I went into that cage match with the understanding that I was going to have backup there, not someone on my back. You understand what I'm saying? So the fact that I had to take care of that old man by myself. Oh, there he is right there. What's up, brother? You know
Well, I was happy you were taking care of that old man who's we shall not mention his name on this platform. But
brother, he's missing teeth. He's missing his name.
Well, he's missing a lot of things, but that's okay.
But afterwards, brother Isaiah came up. He handed me my belt, and I thought all was well, all was good. And the next thing I know, brother, I waking up, I'm staring at the lights. And it took me a week before I went back and watched the video and realized that I was attacked from behind, brother.
Well, speaking of which, we are joined by your opponent in this match coming up, Mr. Isaiah Rage. Obviously, good to see you, my friend. It's always a pleasure. And I know you got a chance to hear a little bit about what's to come, but tell us from your vantage point what we can expect coming up here this Saturday.
You can expect me to become your new United States champion. Now, if I can have the floor for a minute, I would like
you can absolutely whatever you like, my friend. Fire away.
Mephisto, you're my brother. We're diamonds in the rough. But I told you last time we came on this show that I was hungry, did I not? Remember when I said
brother,
that?
go get yourself a meal.
No, that's not the kind of meal I want. The meal I want is gold. You understand what I'm saying? And it's nothing against you. It's nothing personal. It's just business. You get what I'm saying? I told you I'm hungry for this. I wanted that title belt. I understand we're diamonds, and if one person in the group has the belt, then we all have the belt. But no, I want more. I'm here to make a scene. I'm here to make a statement, and I'm here to leave a fucking legacy. My name is Isaiah Rage, and as you see when my shirt says feel the rage, and that means everyone must feel the rage. So my actions, what happened last month at Rage in the Cage, it just had to be done. Understand what I'm saying? It's nothing against you. It's just business.
Brother, you can call it business, but being blindsided the way I was by you after a long, hard-fought match that I had after being already double-teamed by you and that old man already made it seem kind of personal to me, brother.
Ace, what do you have to say for all of this? I mean, these two men are two of the most premier members of this company. They're in your group, and it just seems like this is a Donnybrook right now.
He's just willingly doing it.
I mean, Ace, I mean, you're powerless right now, and that's unlike you right now. You always have something to say on this platform when it comes to this. And, I mean, what are you going to do this Saturday? What are you going to do?
You know, it's a tough one. You know, normally I'd come on here, I'd talk a bunch of smack to one person and, you know, dig at them and, you know, make them flustered, but I can't do that here. I not only are these my guys, but I'm responsible for them in that ring. You know, I'm going to be wearing that striped shirt. You know, you have
the toughest position of anybody right now. You have to count for somebody. I mean, well, I don't know what to say.
You know, at the end of the day, we're all diamonds. Mephisto wins. You know, I know Isaiah ain't gonna like it, but you know, we'll find something else for him to do.
You know
we'll find something
to match you, and thank you.
There's other plans.
I mean, you have to try to figure this out because again, this is a huge weekend for you guys. You guys could be you have a lot on the line. You guys could be the premier group, I would dare say, in this sport right now. And you know, but Isaiah Rage he wants to feel the rage, and Mephisto's going to certainly be a product of that. And Mephisto, I don't know if that's good because you're the one that he's going to be taking out the rage on, Isaiah Rage, and it's the expense of your championship. And Ace Diamond, I don't know what to tell you because looking at this man right now in Isaiah Rage, I would not want to mess with this man on my best day, and certainly it could be Mephisto's best day, and I still don't know if that's going to be a good enough to beat Isaiah Rage, and you're going to have to count 1, 2, 3, and I certainly wouldn't want to get Isaiah Rage angry, and I just don't know what you're going to do. I really don't know what you're going to do. I don't know.
Unprovoked, brother. Unprovoked. You see that? I'm just celebrating with the fans. Unprovoked.
I'll tell you what, Tom. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. Either one of them. They're both my diamonds. End of the day, I'll raise both of their hands, no matter who has that belt. At the end of the day, the diamonds in the rough are still going to be United States champion, regardless of the result. We're walking out with that belt. Either way, that's all I can do is just count and hope that everything goes well.
All right, let me ask both gentlemen this question. You guys can answer it in any way you want as we see what happens here with what Isaiah Rage had did after the match where Mephisto was successful in attaining the U.S. Championship. When you guys, either of yous, win this match, and it's 1, 2, 3, and Mephisto, you either retain the championship, or Isaiah Rage, as you said, you're hungry for gold, and you win the U.S. Championship. Will either one of you men shake hands and maybe embrace after the match, or this is just a permanent thing that you guys, there's no coming back from?
On my behalf, it's no beef. I said my part. Now I need to know what he feels about it.
Brother, that's going to depend on one thing and one thing only. Mr. I, professional wrestling Ace Diamond, calling this fairly down the middle. Unlike what you did at the LMFP show, brother. Getting Ox McCoy and Freddie involved in my match with the Soldier GP, brother. I didn't ask for the help, nor did I need the help. Yet for a third time, you've had someone interfere with my match, brother, or try to intervene in some way, brother. And that makes me wonder what's the deal.
There is no deal, Mephisto. You know this. It's all about the team. I was looking out for our best interests. Yours, mine, Isaiah's, Freddie's, everyone's. And I'll be doing the same Saturday night, calling it down the middle. There's no tricks.
Better not be no tricks. You think I forgot what happened in the video when I took back and I listened, actually. Ace, I love you to death. But on the announce table, did you remember when Dirty Donnie said do not trust Ace Diamond?
Everybody says that.
No, to your own diamonds.
Oh.
He told Mephisto, told you not to trust Ace Diamond.
Yeah. I've heard people say that a lot. I don't like them saying it to my diamonds. Jovi was doing the same thing earlier. And it's just that's all they can do to try to break us up is instill this negativity. It's unwarranted. It's uncalled for. It's unnecessary.
Isaiah, let me ask you a question as we're watching Mephisto and Soldier G people. Let me ask you this. What would it mean to you to be the IMF US champion?
What does it mean to me? To be honest, it just means I'm on a different rise. I'm on a rise of a person holding gold, a leader. Holding that gold's a leadership to everyone back in the locker room. They see you holding that gold, you got to lead by example. That's pretty much what I feel. I'm a leader. I'm not a follower. If people want to follow my lead, they won't be, let me see. They won't be misguided. Let's just put it that way. I will never misguide anyone that follows my lead.
Well, you've certainly accomplished a lot in your career. You've certainly done a number of different things, and to add a U.S. championship would be a very big deal. And we see what happened at last week's Levi McDaniel Fight Promotion show. You can give Levi a sub on YouTube. He's got almost 3,000 subscribers. Let's support those that support us. And, of course, Levi's a member of the Sportzwire Radio Hall of Fame. And we see Mephisto just really, again, unloading. He just unloads on Freddie Daniels, and we're starting to see maybe again as I pointed out, it could be, again, everybody's talking about the foundation make or break, but maybe Diamonds in the Rough are going through their own problems, and we're going to certainly find out more of it here this Saturday at the IMF's latest show, which you can go get a ticket for at Facebook at Iowa Midwest Federation Wrestling. And if you want to support them on YouTube, it will IMF Wrestling. They're almost at 2,000 subscribers. Let's support those who support us. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. If you haven't yet, please hit a sub button for us on YouTube at Sportswire Radio 6579. If I get to 1,000 subscribers, I get a tattoo. I need about another 270 some odd, so let's help me get there eventually one day. And also want to say hello to James Taylor, the legendary Nemesis James Taylor, the ROEW owner. The ROEW owner could very well be scouting Mephisto, could very well be scouting Isaiah Rage, maybe Ace Diamond, and we see it all kind of unveil here. And what can a Samoan do to get into Levi Fights Nights? That's a question you have to ask Levi McDaniel on, and I'm sure he would love to take care of that. And we see, again, a rare embrace between Foundation and Diamonds in the Rough members. That all unfolds. We'll take this off the screen. I want to be able to get the closing thoughts between both of you guys. I'm going to do that right now, right here. I want to go with you, Ace, first. Ace, do you have any closing thoughts ahead of this match? And again, it's a really big weekend for Diamonds in the Rough. But what do you want to say on your behalf before we let you move on?
The same thing I'm going to say Saturday night. I just want to see a good, clean fight. I want them both to give 110%, and the best man's going to walk away with the belt. And I'm going to love them both afterwards. Diamonds for life.
Well, we'll certainly hope, and we'll certainly see what happens. And Mephisto, I want to give you the opportunity. If you want to say anything Rage before closing thoughts, you have that opportunity.
Brother, I'm looking forward to what we got coming on this Saturday, Isaiah. Like me, brother, you got the big biceps, and I can't wait to throw you around a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. Mr. Rage, you have anything else you want to add before we get to closing thoughts? Anything else you want to add to Mr. Mephisto, or let the talking basically sort itself out this Saturday?
All I can say is let the best man win.
All right. Well, we're going to certainly find out. And Mephisto, any closing thoughts you want to share with us? Obviously, Ace has been here a while. Ace, you'll certainly get some extra pay for this year for your 3 appearances. I'm sure somebody in management hates me for saying that, but it's my platform at this point. But Mephisto, anything else you want to add? Any other closing thoughts? And we'll certainly wish you guys a lot of luck here this Saturday.
Tom, I just want to say thanks again for having us on, and appreciate you staying up late for all of us to get up here,
I
brother.
stay up late every day on Sportswire. There was a day last week I think I was on until like 2:30 in the morning. So really, this is kind of like lunchtime for Sportswire. So Mephisto,
everyone's got a different grind, brother, and I appreciate
I
it.
have a different grind. There's nobody that has a grind like me. I can guarantee and put my life on it. But Mr. Rage, I hope to get you here one of these days solo. Maybe you'll have some gold in that appearance that will get you solo. I hope that'll happen. You have a great story, and I really want to talk about that whenever that time comes. If you have any closing thoughts, anything else you'd like to plug, share, or say.
Everybody, this Saturday, IMF presents Summer Heat. Palo, Iowa, Palo Community.
I'm buying a ticket. To make sure. I want one kid to watch you guys wrestle. There's nobody that could say anything on this platform that I don't go and support the wrestlers. Nobody can say. I go every time you guys here, every month. I always make sure to buy one ticket. There's a kid out there that maybe wants to be a Mephisto fan. Maybe wants to be an Ace Diamond fan. Maybe wants to be an Isaiah Rage fan. So if there's somebody out there, you have a chance, you want to go, you can go on me and watch these guys. These guys are going to have a great match. Ace Diamond, I would not envy your position. I just pray for your sake you make the right decision, because either way, you're literally almost in a mine. You're literally almost like a diamond in a mine. It's going to blow up either way, but you have to figure out what will be less of a ticking time bomb. Who knows? Gentlemen, I can't wait to watch this match. I look forward to seeing you guys next month, and maybe Isaiah will get you on here before that. We'll do something to talk about your career and journey, because I really want to get into that. But thank you guys so much for your time, and I look forward to watching the show, and we'll see you guys soon, and happy Saturday.
Appreciate you having me, Tom.
All right, that was Mephisto, the IMF U.S. champion, Isaiah Rage, and Ace Diamond, of course, is the eyes of professional wrestling. He's also a part of Diamonds in the Rough, and we thank them for tuning in and coming on with us. And speaking of people who are here, it is his show after all, and he is the boogeyman. He is the IMF Hardcore and the DKW World Champion, and boy, it always is imposing when you're here, but to see that in the background, I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people watching will say, boy, I would not want to be in the ring with him. And we got you here on your show. And Omen Black, how you feeling tonight? I'm sure you've heard a lot about what maybe some have said about the foundation, other members in the Diamonds in the Rough, and everything else that we're going to expect coming up at the Palo Community Center this coming Saturday, where you're going to be wrestling one of your own. And the now Cyclone, Jason Storm, which broke last week on the show. And tell us what we can expect.
Well, as you heard earlier, the slop that comes out of Ace Diamond's mouth. He wants to pin the foundation against each other. But no, it's the way I like to think of it. It's a friendly competition between me and another foundation brother, Jason Storm. You see, when Jason Storm joined the foundation, he was the wild card. So I don't know what I'm getting myself into stepping in the ring with the Cyclone. New hairline, maybe, but that's...
Well, the good news for you is that you don't have the same problem that James Taylor has with him, because James Taylor, I mean, he really went after James Taylor here last week. And, I'm sure some would say, well, maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's not, but at least you don't have that problem.
No, I think it's going to be good. I like to test my mettle against anyone, especially Foundation Brothers. As obviously you can tell by all the matches that have Matthew Forsaken and whatnot went forth. But, I think last time Jason was on here, he kind of looked over me, Tom. I don't know if you got that hit, but he kind of looked over me. He already thought he was won.
Well, maybe it's this whole thing he's got going on in Michigan with this BYW, and he was talking about James Taylor's ownership, and James Taylor pushed back, and I don't know. Maybe it's getting to him all the things he's going through at ROEW. I don't know what it is, but it's a different. I guess it's going to be a different situation for him in the Palo Community Center. I mean, we'll have to find out, I suppose.
No, without a doubt, Tom. We'll have to find out. But, I don't expect anything different from the Foundation brother, let alone Jason Storm. He should look past me. He should think he's going to walk out champion. But, I could play the same tune. I already know I'm going to walk out DKW champion. This would be my first defense since I won this damn thing.
Because you know why? Because nobody really wants to smoke with you. Despite what some people might say, or other people in other promotions that wanted to smoke, at the end of the day, the facts are is that when they actually stand in the ring with a boogeyman, a hardcore god, and a man that runs Sportswire Radio, nobody really wants that heat. I mean, sure, there's some guys with a name of judgment that'll say, yeah, I'll collaborate, yeah. Or, other guys like a Cyclone that'll be, yeah, I want to go up there. And, there's a guy named Craven with the last name Raid. Maybe he's a Sinister now. And, yeah, they may say they want the smoke in a virtual screen. But actually,
Who's the last one just then?
Sinister is his name now.
Irrelevant.
The point is that everybody in front of a virtual screen can be keyboard warriors, but when they, face a man of your stature and size, it's a different dynamic. I mean, Anthony Steele found that out. I mean, he found that out the hard way. I mean, a lot of guys have found that out.
Find out the hard way again.
Well, that's if he makes it with Chris Craven, but that's a different show for a different time. But the point is, Jason Storm is an impressive figure. No question that Jason Storm has done a lot. I have got a chance, like you, to see an up-close seat from the evolution of Jason Storm, but this isn't the same as wrestling C-Money. This isn't the same as wrestling Jacob Collins, Monoxide, or even other guys like Jack Delta and other guys he's crossed the ring with. This is a man of your size and stature, and it's going to be interesting. Foundation brother.
Me and Storm have a lot of similarities compared to each other. He used to be an owner of a company. I'm an owner of a company. Oh, cheap plug, the PWF.
Oh, and we're going to see that crowned at Summer Bash, July 5th to July 7th. Could definitely be plugging that for sure.
Second night crowns the first world champion of the PWF. The rebrand of the PWF.
Looking forward to that.
But, a lot of similarities. He used to be owner. He used to be world champion of his federation. I used to be world champion of the federation I helped build.
You did.
He's the measuring stick of his company. I like to think that I'm the measuring stick. Soldier may be right. He's the guy, but I think I'm the measuring stick for guys to go against Soldier. That's perfectly fine.
So are you telling me then that this match, in a way, is almost to prove like who has been the better backyard or underground circuit? I don't even consider you backyard anymore. I consider you more of an underground, going in the direction, I don't even know what you want to define it, but let's go in a different way. I kind of consider this match then coming up at the Palo Community Center this Saturday, which probably you can get a ticket at IMF's Facebook page, Iowa Midwest Federation Wrestling, or IMF Wrestling on YouTube. I consider this match, champ, more in a way of really to determine over the past year or so who has been the better world champion in the underground. Is that a fair statement maybe to make?
I'll give Jason credit where credit is due. When he was world champion REW, it took a lot for people to take the title away from him. I give him that. His title run was way longer than mine. I get that. I understand. I accept that. I'm proud of him. Foundation. That's why we had him join us. But I think the question is who would be the best? Who's the best in the background underground circuit? That's obviously has to be me. But you know why? Because companies are trying to follow the shit that me and Soldier have done.
Hey, in Tennessee last week, Atomic Titan just casually dropped your name. I mean, he just dropped it. We had basically a discussion for an hour and a half last night with some guy in Maryland, basically a discussion about him wrestling you in Summer Bash. And, I'm not sure what will come out of that. My opinion is that if you're asking me, I don't see anything in the foreseeable future about that. We'll certainly see what happens. Obviously, I'm sure there'll be more about that.
If I hold my breath on that, I might pass out here on Sportswire Live. So,
well, I'm sure the DBW roster, will make sure that they can crack jokes and poke fun. It's easy to do that. But, I'll certainly leave that for a different time. But my point is that at the end of the day, you're the man right now. You're the guy that everybody has in their mouth. Everybody. We talk about even guys like hardcore guys, Mikey Anarchy, Jimmy Controversy, Obey, Hardcore, Kato, Mac 10 certainly. They all know who you are, and maybe Jason Storm has something to prove, other than just being, CJ Black's best friend, other than just being an owner of ROEW. He can prove, you know what? Yeah, I've been a CBW world champion. Yeah, I've been an ROEW champion. You know what? I've certainly had that grind, and I can prove it here in front of a packed venue with 150, 200 people easily packing the Palo Community Center, and you can lose that championship, and he could be the guy that everybody says he's the guy in the foundation.
You're absolutely right, Tom. He could, for some reason, he could beat me and take my DKW world title. I know that pathetic little worm Joe Stone's not going to take it from me because I'm the one who took it from him.
Well, I think Joe Stone would know in his best interest.
Let's talk about Joe Stone real quick.
Well, I would love to hear about Joe Stone. Wrestled the first match in Sportswire Radio history live. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're welcome, Joe. You did my ring. You're welcome.
Actually, yes, literally.
Well, I'm sorry, Soldier. Our ring. You did our ring.
All right, well.
Any ring that me and Soldier get into, it's our ring.
All right.
WC learned that the hard way.
WC will certainly say hello to WC, though, because we actually do like WC in this platform.
The guy I had a break in half is their world champion. So maybe I should take another trip down to WC. I beat him once. I can beat him again.
At least WC will accept the offer, though. Unlike, the guys that...
They need it. Let's be honest. They need it.
At least they'll accept. I'm skeptical if they'll actually accept in Maryland. But again, we've already gone down that road, and there's no point of even bringing it up at this point.
That's why guys like from Indiana, there's a guy that brought us in, and we had the most views on their certain series they had. That's why everything I've done with Matthew Forsaken or DKW alone has always been at the top tier of shit to watch. You
went there, you conquered in Michigan. Jason Storm even found that out firsthand. You mentioned Wisconsin. You talked about Ohio. You got the DKW title already. Indiana. I mean, their owner was already mad because we didn't mention the guy that was supposed to be here to open the show up. It was supposed to be one of your guys in the foundation, the last one to be in the Hall of Fame. And I guess
unfortunate. As a foundation guy, I humbly apologize, Tom, and the
No,
fans.
we don't have to apologize. Unfortunately, he did a 2 for 2 with no shows. I mean, apparently that's according to his owner. Maybe it was on purpose. Maybe it wasn't. Who knows? But, you know, that's kind of how it goes. But the facts are, is you guys, and again, all these places, you've shown up, you've conquered, and we'll see if Jason Storm has learned from his experiences with you guys in the foundation and being across the apron from you, I suppose.
You know, I'm excited for Summer Heat, but I'm also looking forward to end. Because now, after Summer Heat ends, the next stop is the greatest show that's ever going to take place in the underground backyard scene, combining all these forces together, and that's what we call Summer Bash.
And you're going to see a lot of stars from the IMF there. You're going to see a lot of stars from DKW, WCE, ROEW. You're even going to see a few people from XCW, CBW, OMW. You're going to see people from Resurrection Wrestling. Certainly cannot forget about Resurrection Wrestling and Anthony Steele. You're going to see people, I even hear from ALW potentially, All Legendary Wrestling. I mean, I even hear names from GTS potentially, TF Crew, UWF, NEW. I mean, there's pretty much every promotion I could think of that is actually in the move, even AWL technically. I mean, you're pretty much seeing almost every promotion there is out there, with some obvious exceptions. I mean, obviously 1 to 2 major ones, which was talked about on yesterday's show. And we'll see what the Peanut Gallery. Oh, they're not told to be here, so they're not going to be here. But, you know,
the way I see Summer Bash, Tom, and I think you can agree with me, Summer Bash isn't just a thing. It's an idea. It's a conglomerate of all these forces coming together.
In collaboration. Oh, absolutely. Open collaboration.
That, you know, we can also have banger of shows without being professionals. You know, I've been told by many pros and many fans who go to pro shows that my matches and Soldier's matches are way better than what they see in certain companies around here. Like, I'll name drop one, EWA.
I've heard of EWA. I've heard of them.
Boring. That's what they should call it. Boring.
Well, I can tell you first, I'll even go out and say it because I don't have any problem to say anything. I think a lot of what you guys have done over the past 18 months is far better than what I've covered in British independent wrestling. A lot of times I've watched matches and I kind of hit the snooze button. What you guys have done is really reinvented the wheel. You guys have basically come from just being on James Taylor's show, and an idea from somebody, from an owner of a company, told me to reach out to you guys, and it led to where you are. And Summer Bash is the culmination of it. It's where you get to see almost a dozen or so companies come together and cut the middleman out and see who could be the very best and see things we would never see. And that's what it's all about, helping everybody. You know, everybody's subs go up because you're seeing people you wouldn't have got a chance to see, connecting with people. And that's what I said last night. You know what? That's what I said last night to Mr. Judgment and Anthony Steele, was that all this talk you hear about people in a virtual screen or people in comments on YouTube, when everybody gets into a locker room and says, you know what? They cut all that out. That's what Summer Bash is doing. Summer Bash is bringing people together that would never have been together. And the whole point of it is that we're all, to me, the one. Well, everybody's one in the backyard running club. This isn't WWE versus AEW. This isn't TNA Impact versus AEW. This isn't New Japan, All Japan. We're all on the same team. Nobody's getting rich off this. Nobody's making millions of dollars. Everybody's doing it for the same reasons. We love wrestling. We love this sport. We want to go out there and do something that we've basically, obviously, taken up our lives. It's taken us away from families, relationships, whatever it is, and we believe in it. And that's what Summer Bash is about. Summer Bash is just like Ozfest, Lollapalooza, Gigantor, all those different things that you've seen.
Iowa thing, I'm sorry.
No, we love Iowa. I love all the places that are on this platform. The facts are is that this is what this is doing. It's bringing people together. And now, if some people are for real and want to be a part of it, they can connect with people. If they don't and they want to be here, and today I got this. If they want to be here and they want to go out there and do it, they can reach out to you. If they're saying that to basically, save face, because again, I credit them that they obviously, the individual I was here, Mr. Judgment, he was able to pack a room, and he got 16 of his roster members. Again, I would have did the same thing.
I applaud him for that.
Yeah, so do I, because you know what? Anthony Steele didn't have 16 people in his chat form. Anthony Steele did. Listen, I love Anthony to death, but he didn't have 16 to 20 people backing him up. Judgment did. And Anthony, I told you that. He used the strategy that we use in politics all the time. You pack a room in a debate, you get people to go rah, 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 you get people that supported you. And Judgment did that. And I told Anthony that was going to be the case. And Anthony, obviously, again, he handled it the way he did. I think some things he was right. Other things, I think, not to be, arrogant and cocky. I think when you're truly a professional, a real professional who can speak, took the microphone over, I think we accomplished some things. But you know what? If those guys want to be a part of it, they're friends with you on Facebook. Listen, Brandon Costelli can message you. Ace Christian can message you more than a 2-word thing. If their guys want to message and work with Summer Bash and work with you guys and come up with it, that's up to you guys. And that's up to the people behind it. If they don't, and they just want to come here and basically say a few things, have a few pot jokes, God bless you. You come on the platform, but I think my point was clear, was that DBW guys, when they still come on here, nothing's going to change. I think there are some guys like Jackson Snow, Scorpion the Assassin, Big Tex, they come here. Yeah, they want to be Van Hansen. Yes, they want to be here, but there are other guys that, listen, with no joke, they're the bookers. They work with Judgment, which is fine. I don't begrudge them for that. They're taking one for the team. All good with that. But I just want to say, before I let you move on, I don't know if you're going to hang out with Parsley and Soldier or not, whatever it is. But the point is, to me, is that these guys, if they really are sincere and want to go reinvent the wheel, they can reach out. If they don't, no problem. God bless you. Good luck. Whatever you want to do. Nothing personal. I think those guys, from my interpretation, I think some of them took it personal. I think Judgment, I want to speak on this actually. I think he made one mistake in that he opened the show basically saying that his roster was all taking a shot. When I cut him off, because you do not, I'm like, let me tell you, I will tell you straight up. I tell people the same things on and off the air. What you see is what you get. And I know guys like him, dealt with him all my life in the political world. He was very, again, I said, listen, I said 3-4 names, Ego and you. I didn't say anything about the rest of your roster. I didn't tell anybody not to go work for your company. I specifically mentioned 4 names because they were on my stream. And this all goes back to the point that Judgment, he really didn't want, and the DBW guys don't really collaborate here on stream. They don't have it. And I'll be honest, Judgment, he made some good points. I agree with some of the things he had to say, but I don't think he really has the it factor and from a public speaking standpoint. I'll bring him back on anytime he wants. There's an open door, but I just want to speak on Summer Bash before I bring the microphone back to you, is that if those guys really want to reach out, the ball is in their court. Nobody is going to beg them to come to Summer Bash. If they want to be here, they can do it. If not, God bless you. I think you got a good product. You got some good things. There's no knocking anybody for that. Nobody's, I think people kind of have a little bit of a maybe some amnesia. Maybe they're a little bit delusional in some of their points. But in terms of you want to do what you want to do, no problem with that. So that's all.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right, Tom. I want to piggyback on one thing you said, very interesting, that about Summer Bash, people want to find out who's the best. And I don't think that's the main point someone should be focusing on. I'm not saying you said you believe in that, but I'm saying if someone believes in that, they're going to Summer Bash all wrong. I think Summer Bash isn't to find out who's the best. It's to find out how collaboration works for both and everyone.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that.
I'm going into Summer Bash I'm not thinking I'm the best. I'm going in thinking who can I start a business relationship with? Who can I network with? Who can I, for some reason, give a dream match to that wants to face me? And I'm not being egotistical. Maybe no one wants to have a dream match with me. That's perfectly fine. But if the opportunity is there, the opportunity is going to be at Summer Bash for everyone.
Absolutely. No, listen, I totally agree with that. And I think, again, sure, I think some people are going to say the right things, but it's actions that speak louder than words. And I think that, listen, it's nobody's going to force DBW or any promotion to be here. I think the companies that are here, they want to be here. They believe in open collaboration. I think that there are a lot of people that want to actually make friends. I think there's a lot of people that want to, be a part of the community. And I think that, some of the people that were here last night in the chat, I think some of them, my opinion, I think deep down they don't want this to succeed. I think they don't, because to me,
that's a shame.
It is a shame, but I think if you judge some of the people in terms of their comments, I don't think they really want this to. I think Scorpion the Assassin was very honest. He spoke with me off the air. He was on the air. He's been here. I think Jackson Snow was very honest on and off the air. But I think you saw people's true colors in some ways. I think there was some Ace Christian, Brandon Castelli. My money, they show to me their true colors. These are guys that I've gone out, supported, put them in the Hall of Fame. And the way they came across, you know what? That's on them. You know what? I'm not knocking them personally. I'm just saying the way they came across, that's the way, I'm just saying, that's the way they came across. Anthony, did he say things that he should not have said? Yeah, I think Anthony did a lot of things that I would.
Anthony if he didn't do that.
But that's why I love it. I will stick with Anthony. I will defend him tooth and nail. I have his back. But I think that there were guys there too that, I don't think that they was serious about anything. They came across to me, if you're going to say it, cocky, punk, arrogant kids. I think Christian, I'm going to say it, I don't have a problem saying this. Ace Christian in the comments came off to me like a cocky punk. Brandon Castelli comes across like a 1997 Triple H wannabe in his comments. He's got, 4 gimmicks he's playing? I mean, God bless him. I love the guy. I'll network with him. But the way he didn't come across and say, yeah, I want to work with these guys. There was no, yeah, I want to work with these guys. There was none of that. You can go work with VT. Again, I don't want to regurgitate it. I like these guys, but I judge by the people I see in comments. I think there were some guys that wanted to be here, some guys that defended it. And that was, listen, I love the Brooklyn Prodigies. They're going to come here. But this wasn't Death Row versus Bad Boy. No, Death Row versus Bad Boy, that's like Bed-Stuy versus like South Central. Like, seriously, I love you guys. I'm going to bring you on. Jimmy Controversy reigns about you guys, but I think that some of their people took it the wrong way. But that's fine. Listen, I would love to. They're welcome anytime. That's all I got to say on it.
I know. I just want to clear the air about one thing that I didn't get the chance to last night because so much was said, and I just didn't want to drain everyone's mentally capacity for it.
Sure.
The thing with me and the Foundation Ego is. I would still work with Ego, without a doubt. Soldier would say the same thing, but the thing what happened was, see, me and Soldier, we live our gimmick, we live our character. So if we challenge someone, we're not gonna be like, oh hey, let's do this. Hey, I want to challenge you. No, we're gonna be our character and challenge them in character. And it got to the point where these guys thought we actually really wanted to fight them, and we kind of just sat there and looked at each other like, that's sad that these guys been in the business for so much longer than us, but they can't read between the
But that was even comments last night. I think that some guys took it personal. I think Castelli, Christian, they took to me, at least from comments. I don't know what it was like. And I'm not begging people for their opinion. You want to talk to me or you don't at this point. There's a lot of people that want to come on. I got Judge Joe Dredd tomorrow, so I don't have time. We have, by the way, I'm going to break it here. We have, speaking of ESW Shockwave coverage, Osiris is here live Sunday night, 10 o'clock Eastern time. And he's got a lot to say about ESW Shockwave. You might want to tune into that one. But the point is, to me, there were some guys that I don't really think that they really were serious about it. They kept saying, oh, well, we're trying to tear people down. To me, I felt that they had a predetermined opinion from their own right. So to me, it's both sides. And that's what I said throughout the entire conversation. I was like, look, I presented it. People got the opportunity. I respect judgment for coming on. He presented his case. I don't think if anything changes, if it changes, great, but I don't see anything changing. Look, and I love those guys. I want to put it out there before somebody says, oh, you said this about them. Listen, Castelli and Christian are great talents. Corey Graves is coming here in 2 weeks. I enjoy all those guys there. This is not XCW where, Fletch has done things that I think that, even though The
I
XCW.
don't want to get on that subject.
I'm not either, but especially after tonight with Jay Ellis, I'm not getting there with that. But, I just want to say with DBW, I love those guys. I certainly think from their vantage point, they would know different in some ways from how they commented in the chat. So, but that would be expected.
I like the product. I want anyone who's watching from DBW right now to know this.
They're not watching right now because they're not told. They're not watching right now. I can tell you they're not watching right now because they're not told to watch. They were told to watch yesterday because listen, he told his people to come out to flood the chat. But again, that's what happened.
In case there's a DBW spy, just know that I'm not knocking the product. I'm not knocking how you guys workshop over there. I'm not. I'm knocking the dishonesty and the fact that you guys can't tell from character, not character, professionalism from, I guess, immature bullshit.
I think there was, and I think I agree with you 100%. I don't think that, to me, there was a lot of, on their part, a lot of immaturity. And maybe it's because they didn't know Anthony and they interpreted a certain way. I don't know. I don't know these guys in a locker room. I've never been in a locker room.
I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud you guys got the nice ring coming. You guys got the fucking announce table bullshit that was somewhat needed to be shared. You guys got it. Like, okay, cool flex. I'm proud you guys are getting all these upgrades. Good. I'm proud that you guys are stepping up and trying to always evolve the product.
But if you want to flex, invite other feds. But you know what? But if you really want to flex, invite more feds to work with you. If you want to be that open collaborative, call up feds. Call up and ask them. If you don't, listen, again.
I think they will now because they got called out on it.
We'll find out. I would love to see it. Listen, I love the guys there. They've all been, I have almost
there
all
was
the
one comment last night that I saw in the comments that
go for it.
Got to me. It was strange enough. It was from that fucking troll, Taylor's plushie.
Oh, yeah.
Cult-like mentality, and thinking about it, how they were reacting, without a doubt.
Oh, for sure. Listen, those guys, listen again, they had it. Listen, I can tell you from experience, there was definitely a coordinated effort. They knew that they had to stay. There was a message. Their message was basically, we're going to certainly say what's on our mind. We're going to certainly, divert some different things. I think they knew that Steele at times, I think he did very well at certain times. He made very good points, but I think there were other things he came across the way Steele comes across, and they did a very good job with it. Now, I think, again, not to be over, maybe over cocky on my part. I certainly reined it in when I needed to, but at the end of the day, you couldn't do anything, and I said it specifically. I could talk over you and throw you off the chat. It's not going to do nothing. I let people talk. I think you would say it was a very fair conversation, but I think there was no question that on their part, but you know what? But that's what you're going to get with alpha males. You're going to get with alpha egos, and that's the gist of it. Let me get to some comments here. I want to say hello to Skulls. Skulls, good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. I wish you luck in everything you're going on out there. Good to see you, my friend. We had a good conversation, and I appreciate that very much, Il Drago. I look forward to watching your match. James Taylor calls Jason Storm Mr. Clean, and that boy couldn't rip off one of my babies. What do you have any final thoughts for Jason Storm? Anything you want to say? Because I want to get to the main event now. You can stay on if you want, by the way. You might want to stay on for all you know. Maybe you want to stay on. It's your show.
I hope that you have the confidence that you showed tonight about just like, you kind of stood me up on this date, bud. And, Foundation, we don't stand any date up. So, kind of disappointed in you. But
Two Foundation members stand up Sportzwire and IMF tonight, huh? One guy in XCW is a New Age champion, and the other guy is Jason Storm. I think Storm, I'll maybe give him a benefit of the doubt, but I don't know Ellis very well, so I don't know.
He's been going downhill. Ever since losing his hair, he went from wild card to cyclone. He went from owning a business, not owning a business. And now he went from Sportswire being a champion to coming on Sportswire whenever the hell he feels like. He
used to be here like every 2 weeks, and now I see him once every 6 months. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
For my final thoughts, can I make an announcement?
You can say anything. You could stay here for Justin Parsley if you want, and you could stay here.
Actually, it kind of involves who comes up next.
He's coming in about 2 seconds.
Drew we have everyone's number for the Rumble for the PWF World Title, and I want to happily announce, because I don't like the guy whatsoever, Justin Parsley drew number 1.
Oh, whoa. Wow, you don't like him, and you really don't like him because he drew number 1 in that Rumble. Oh, my goodness.
So good luck, Justin. I really think you're going to need it.
Well, you know what? That's certainly one. You know what? Skulls makes a good point. Actually, maybe Justin Parsley might want to play golf after this. Actually,
So his head looks like a golf ball. Doesn't he plays golf?
well, you know what? Skulls actually is back, and it's good to see Skulls. And okay, you know what, Omen? It's your show, and you certainly left as always in style. And I guess you're going to leave, but I think the man that's coming on next is right behind you. So I don't know what you want to do.
Just put me in the backstage real quick. I'll switch spots.
Fair enough. I'll do my magic, and I'm speaking to people, and I'm bringing them on. And Justin, I mean, I actually feel bad to hear what Omen Black just said. And I mean, that was cruel of him. You're the only 3-time Hall of Famer. I actually have to say, that's cruel of him to say that you number 1. You're a 3-time Hall of Famer. It's in my interest to actually see you do well, and it is still my interest to see XCW do well. And we were supposed to have Jay Ellis here, and I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt partially on Jay Ellis. I hope he's okay. And we have Julian Boyd Jacobs next Sunday, so I'm happy about that, and I'm happy to see you. And I mean, I guess we're waiting for Soldier GP, and it's Soldier JP versus Soldier GP, and it looks like he's here now, and I'm going to let you guys have the floor. And I mean, this has been going on for months, and it's coming to rear its maybe ugly head.
Justin, I'm being number 1, buddy.
Oh, God.
The real one.
Oh, you know what? I'm just letting you guys hash it out. I'm going with you, Soldier, first. You're the champion.
I'll let the challenger talk first. Go ahead.
Ooh.
Bitch.
Age before beauty, I see. So, Soldier GP this Saturday. Summer Heat, IMF. Halo Community Center.
That was good how you said that, by the way. That was funny.
I'm currently undefeated at the Palo Community Center, and I look forward to extending that undefeated streak this Saturday against you. You know, you worry about that thing on your shoulder so much. You worry about Goldie, that little girl, so much. You've been through the ringer, man. I feel for you. You lost your father, and I'm sorry about that. I didn't think that something like that happening would take away from you being a father and keeping your hands on with your son. I thought maybe you guys would have a closer bond and a stronger bond, but I see that slowly you two drifting apart, and the thing on your shoulder controlling you, this industry controlling you, when your son just wants a dad, man. And you know what it's like. You have to cherish those moments. You have to capture those moments and hold on to them as long as you can, because they're few and far between, and they're not here long.
That's all right. I started the new dad here.
A lot to unpack there, Soldier.
Is that all you got, man? I mean,
I want to leave some
talked
room
about-
for
you've
you.
talked about my dad. You've talked about my dad every single time we've come face to face. You've always brought something over my dad. So I knew you were going to be on my dad. So I is that all you got? Come on, man. You're HBK of the backyard community, right? You're the
Is that
big
right?
Justin Parsley, the XCW legend.
Superstar, XCW superstar, future PWF world champion, future Indiana Midwest Federation world champion.
And soon to be 17-time Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer, I have to point out.
Quite possibly, yeah.
That was good.
Do you
Go ahead.
know
Continue.
how this feels? Do you know how this feels to put something like this on your shoulder? No.
When you first met me, you know I had one.
You were a team.
That's true.
This is more than a team, because this shows that you can do it on your own. Have you ever done that? No. That's why you aligned yourself with the sinners. The first chance you got, you came here, you put on a hell of a match, and then you aligned yourself with the team because you can't do it on your own.
I saw an opportunity and a door open, Soldier. I walked through the door.
to a team because you can't do it by yourself. I'm not worried about this weekend. You should be, though. Because like I've always been saying this whole time, I exposed you, man. I exposed everybody to the real Justin Parsley. The real one. The man that attacks people for no reason, the backstabber, the loser. And on Saturday, you're going to meet the real monster. You're going to meet the popular monster, the guy that I've kept away because, I didn't need him. All right. I like to bring him out for a few people, assholes that really need it. And Parsley, you really need it. So what's going to happen is going to happen what's been happening your whole entire career recently. You're going to come here and you're going to lose again. When was the last time you won anything, bud? When was the last time you won a match?
With Justin, would that actually be a match that you had with Omen and Soldier in another state? Was that the last time you guys were victorious?
It has been a minute. I can't pinpoint the exact date.
Soldier, don't forget too. The last time he's been in a Rumble, he got eliminated pretty quick.
Yeah, last time you were in a Rumble. You came in, 4 numbers later, you were gone. Now you got to go in number 1 at Summer Bash.
Extreme King last year was number 30, though. He was number 30 last year in Extreme King.
How much do you have to do with that number 1 spot at Summer Bash? Was that foundation directed orders?
No, that was luck of the draw, son.
Luck of the draw?
Yeah, you're a sinner.
Yeah.
So
wait a minute, Justin. Are you saying that? Justin, you make an interesting point. Are you meaning to tell me actually that? Well, there may be politics in Indiana. There's politics at hand in Iowa as well. Is that what you're telling me there right now? That because what do you think, Justin, on that?
I think it's grassroots to Titan Towers. I think there's politics everywhere.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
But especially for you, number 1.
Me and Fletch have is we both wear glasses. That's it.
Well, one's a fish face. The other one's definitely a popular monster. That's for sure. But that's a different conversation for a different time because we'll obviously leave that at that. But, Justin, there's been a lot said here in the last week. This Parsley lullaby everyone's been talking about, and now you're dealing with this. But maybe, just maybe, does this fuel you into the biggest match potentially of your career? Sure, this is really, 6 months in the making? I mean, if you think about this, between you and Soldier, I mean, this is really 6 months in the making. I would say right now, I'm going to say it on the record, because I do a lot of things on the record, by the way. This might be by far the most personal feud in the backyard in the underground circuit this year in 2024. If I were to go back and think about the most personal feuds, the most personal storylines, especially in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, which you guys have played that parts, I think this has been by far, without question, the most personal feud in the backyard in the underground in 2024. And it comes to its head this Saturday at the Palo Community Center. Sellout crowd, main event for a world championship in Justin Parsley. Your career could be further cemented. And could I dare say it, that if you win this Saturday, maybe we're having another show with you right afterwards to make you a 4-time Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer? Is this what could be at stake this Saturday?
I think quite possibly, and I think it's kind of in my favor to be a 5-time Hall of Famer when I enter at number 1 and win the PWF Battle Royal, and then a 6-time Hall of Famer when I become the first PWF World Champion. I think it's just nonstop. 7-time Hall of Famer when I defeat Omen Black again. 8-time Hall of Famer when I become the Indiana Midwest Federation World Champion. You'll have to come to Indiana to take it back from me.
Well, Soldier, I think it's, apparently I've received word you were in for a surprise because apparently Justin Parsley took notes from Mr. Judgment last night. He took a lot of notes from that. And he saw a good way to certainly make sure you get the numbers game and even it out in your favor. And he certainly did that. He showed why he was obviously bossing his company, and Justin Parsley is showing why he's Soldier JP, because I have just received word we are now here live with none other than the essential one himself, who calls himself the Boogeyman Slayer, Rob Slater. Boy, it seems like last night Anthony Steele was in trouble, and now it looks like the Foundation Soldier GP. You're certainly facing the Anthony Steele treatment because Rob Slater is gone. But not so fast! Not so fast! The Boogeyman has come back on his own show and decided that, you know what? Now we're going to go 2-on-2. It's almost like we're reliving last year when Omen and Soldier were coming back from right now. All they did in XCW, they were on the road. They came in and interrupt your Hall of Fame ceremony, and this is what's happening. Omen Black has taken control once again. He has interrupted your potential plans to pull a Mr. Judgment and interfere and team up and gang up on Soldier GP verbally, so verbally to the point that he would basically be rendered in no condition to compete this Saturday at the Palo Community Center, a sold-out crowd, hundreds of people. Omen Black has sold no more. What's that?
Rob's coming? Is that what you're trying to say?
Rob Slater, as a matter of fact, the essential one.
Hey, Soldier. Are you coming with Carson?
Hey, I wouldn't miss this for the world. I'm going to buy a ticket just so I can have front row access to watch Justin Parsley bring the Indiana Midwest Federation title back home.
Let me get this straight. When we went the hardcore tag match or whatever you want to call it.
It's been a while, I know.
The situation was if you guys beat us, you guys both would get a title shot. So hold on, you guys, okay, and you guys pinned him. That's fine. And I offered you a title shot, but you're gonna come watch like a bitch. So you're too much of a bitch.
I'm gonna come watch.
You're too much of a bitch to get in the ring with me. Are you too much of a bitch to get in the ring with me?
Hey, listen.
Because I mean, it looks like you're coming. You're coming to bow down to this fool right here. But the fact of the matter is, what I'm getting out of it is you're a bitch because you're scared to get in the ring with the Soldier.
He's not.
I offered you guys.
I'm not scared.
A title. I offered you guys both a title shot.
You did.
And he's the only one that's man enough to come take it.
Hey,
why, Robbie? Why is that?
I'm going to be there, but you see, I chose not to get involved in the same match as my partner. You see, because at the end of the day, only one can walk out champion. Why would I fight my partner when only one can walk out champion when I know he's going to walk out champion?
Well, I got a question for you, Rob. I actually got a question because if you have been watching XCW TV, which I actually still watch XCW, and I would encourage people to still support XCW. Actually, really do support them. Extreme King is coming up next week, and I'm very excited about that. And I'm very excited to speak with Julian Void Jacobs. So you can say thank you to those out there. Yes, but I want to ask you though, Rob, if you've been watching XCW TV, which I have been still, despite all the things that may have been said on this platform, I still go out and support this company. This great company, by the way, still really one of the measuring sticks around all time in the yard and the underground. But you and Justin Parsley seem like you guys are going through a rough patch, to kind of quote the diamonds in the rough. And are you going to be okay to show up there despite some of the things going on there with you guys in Indiana?
Tom, every tag team has their rough patches. It's how they choose to come out of that really truly defines a tag team. We've been there. We had our issues as a team, but come Extreme King, we get back on track. And when I win the Extreme King and go on to Summer Mania to win the title, and Justin.
Let the man talk now. You're not even part of the match. You're a fan. That's cool. You can pay $10 to show up.
I think I will give you the $10. I think my $10 ticket's going to you.
What do you have to say?
Parsley, can you
get
trust
it out
that?
now.
Can you trust that? Because like the last match I saw with you guys, and you were wrestling, and he had your back, he kind of fucked you over. I mean, you can't pull off. Oh, I meant to trip somebody else when you look right at the person and trip them. Can't relate. See, we can't relate because I've never screwed him.
Also, you guys can't relate that we're both world champions.
Wait. I got this. Rob, I got this. Did I hear Omen's basically alluding to the fact that he and Soldier are main eventers, but he's calling you guys basically mid-carders for a second-tier promotion? Is that what he's saying right now?
He can call us mid-carders. He can call us jobbers.
Without the foundation, you guys would still be on the mid-card. You're welcome, because of what I tell you. the first time we encountered at Encounters, we made you guys main eventers for the first time. So you're welcome, Rob. You're welcome, Justin. And by the way, you're welcome, Esther. I made your daddy a main event.
And if I remember correctly, Omen, at Encounters, it was the real ones who gave you your first loss. So
we also played that same tune. It was also the foundation to give you your first loss.
And you could say theoretically, since that match, that's where the real ones have kind of had this downward spiral, to use a quote we used earlier in the show, because you guys don't have the gold, and we've seen some of that tension play out, especially on
got in the ring with the real tag team, and he was like, "Oh shit, Rob is not the one. He's not the essential one for me."
Ooh. So are you saying that Justin Parsley wants to furlough Rob Slater? And he's
I'm just saying, Rob, you better watch your back, because I've been exposing the real Parsley this whole time.
Rob, you should be watching your back because of me.
I do like the headset, though, Rob.
We've had our differences. We've had our history before XCW and even in XCW. But one thing remains the same. The loyalty and bond between us is unmatched. The chemistry we have is unmatched. You can talk all you want about us being on separate pages, not clicking. Like I said, come Extreme King, you'll see the real ones get back on track. And then when Rob Slater wins the Extreme King and goes on to Summer Mania to win the title, listen. When I go on to win the XCW championship, and when Mr. Parsley over here comes to Iowa and wins the IMF World Championship, and we'll be having both golds and two separate promotions.
So are you telling me if you win Extreme King and Justin Parsley, if he wins this Saturday, that you're going to basically...
No, he's going to win.
Well, okay, but let me phrase it in a different way. Are you meaning to tell me if it was the way you guys want it, that you're going to more or less unify the world championships and basically call yourselves the real world champions of the Midwest? Is that what you're telling me right now?
Exactly, Tom. Exactly. World championships on one shoulder. When we get back the XCW tag titles on the other shoulder,
I would certainly love to see you. I will actually give you an endorsement on that one. I would love to see you guys win those titles back.
When we take the IMF tag titles too.
Whoa there!
Now you're drinking the Kool-Aid too much. You sound like DBW.
That was yesterday's show. Come on, that was yesterday's show where 18 guys drinking the Kool-Aid. I mean, that's some strong punch over there.
Listen, Rob, I'm okay with you coming, because if you get involved, I am sending Parsley straight to hell so he can see Kurt Axton. I will send you with him.
Oh, we know the relationship there with Kurt Axton.
You may be able to talk the talk. But you
I can walk the walk. I beat your ass. We made you guys not want to get back in the ring in our first encounters. You had an opportunity to jump back in the ring, but you guys stepped back.
And guess what? So we learned from it. It was a fluke. And what happened the second time? Who gave who the ass beating?
Well, that was a fluke, obviously, because it scared you enough not to come get your title shot.
And if I recall correctly, if I recall correctly, even after that victory, you guys did embrace it. As a matter of fact, the foundation saved you guys. If we're going to go down that memory lane,
and it wasn't that we saved you guys because we liked you guys. We saved you guys so your other stupid company couldn't coattail on what we did to you.
There's a point there to be made on that. There is a point to be made, but I want to ask you, Justin, this question. I know we've already asked you this question, but your career could flash before your very eyes this Saturday. I ask you then, what would it mean to you? Well, we're going to certainly find out, but what would it mean to you to be the IMF World Heavyweight Champion?
Well, on the flip side, it would suck to die as a mid-carder, especially main eventing for IMF. I didn't have to work IMF, right? I got the phone call. I got the opportunity. I showed up. The booking happened the way it did. I
We
made
did
it
openly
with or without you.
collaborate.
They know what face, what talent brings asses and puts asses in the seats. They know what people buy tickets for. You've
They
seen
did.
it. I threw suckers at them. I threw bracelets at them. I draw them in. I bring them in, and then I let them down. And just like this Saturday, when I bring him in and I let him down by walking out of that building as the world champion, it will mean the world to me. You'll see what it means to me when I'm defending it every single week on XCW and I'm taking the IMF championship to PWF while I defend the world title there too. You're going to see what it means to me when I become the IMF world champion, because it's going to happen this Saturday live in Palo, Iowa.
Oh, it will certainly be live, and I am certainly going to put that poster up here before we get to a few more thoughts, because yours truly, when we're off the air, is actually buying a ticket. Maybe it's Rob Slater's ticket or somebody's ticket, but that's actually the poster for the show. So if you want to go check it out, and you can certainly do that here. And for whatever reason, I don't see Justin Parsley on this photo. I don't know why, but we do see Ox McCoy's on here.
Mediocrity works at IMF. Mediocrity works at IMF.
There's not enough room for that big ass forehead.
Hey, Tom, it's because they're afraid to put a real main eventer on their poster.
Me and Soldier on there.
Rob's got a fair point. At least Damien's going to be there, though. I like seeing Damien Saint's face.
Real Soldier, not pretend.
Yeah, well, get off your knees, boy.
Hey,
Get off
Bob,
your knees.
Wait.
I got one question for you. How's my biggest fan, JJ, doing?
Oh,
Doing good.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? I can certainly sense where this is going. And this is why you need to go to the Palo Community Center. Summer Heat. Summer might have officially started partially today. The first full day of summer here in New York starts right now. But your summer doesn't start until you're at the Palo Community Center, where you say who's who of stars, and especially the main event for the prize that really nobody in the backyard and the underground can truly say they're the best without. And that is the IMF World Championship. The winner of this match, in my opinion, very well could be at the top right now of this game in attendance and everything else in between. Omen Black's got the DKW World title. His match with Jason Storm, some will say, well, who's been the best world champion over the past year? This match between Justin Parsley and Soldier GP. The winner of this could say right now, in this circuit right now, who is the best? Figuratively, in terms of a drawing standpoint, this is the measuring stick. The winner of this championship is the only company that has actual drawing fans. So at the end of the day, if Justin Parsley wins, if Soldier GP continues his champion, Soldier's obviously the man, he's the top draw. But if Justin Parsley wins, well, he's the top draw. And this is why this match is so important, and this is why you want to support the IMF and go buy a ticket. Iowa Midwest Federation Wrestling on YouTube and Facebook, and also IMF Wrestling. And if you want to get in touch, I am buying a ticket when I'm off the air. I am sending $10 over. So whoever's out there, you're a kid, you're a fan, whatever it might be.
Your poor ass don't have to buy a ticket. He just bought one for you.
Well, Rob, you can say, come back to Sportswire and say thank you later, but the point is, you need to be there. You need to be there, because this is going to be one. If you think about, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to final thoughts, the past 6 months of this 2024 calendar year, the most personal feud in the backyard and the underground by far, without even question, has been Justin Parsley and Soldier GP. We've seen the babies mentioned. We've seen dead fathers mentioned. We've seen Kurt Acid mentioned. We've seen other promotions mentioned. It's all going to come to a head. If you thought Brett and Sean was personal, if you thought CM Punk and the Young Bucks was personal, if you thought Edge and Matt Hardy was personal, wait until you see Justin Parsley and Soldier GP in a ring, the main event, the Palo Community Center. I can assure you, this is going to be one in the backyard and the underground that they're going to be talking about for decades to come. I promise you on that. But in the interest of time, let me get to everybody for some final thoughts. I want to go with you, Justin, first. Do you want to ask Soldier GP one question of your choice?
Sure. If I walk out the IMF World Champion and continue taking bookings at XCW and wrestling as the IMF World Champion, would you still text? Would you still call me? Would you still make it about the money and involve me?
Yeah. Are you reading a fucking Hallmark card?
You don't even pay attention to your own members' music. You don't know what he's implying?
He couldn't be here with us tonight.
Will this be
Listen, all this stuff that you're talking, all the trash that you've been saying over the past 3 or 4 weeks, nonsense. When it all said and done, and you go home empty-handed, the real question is, how are you going to explain that to Esther?
I'll probably wait till she's old enough to understand and then try then.
You're also forgetting, he also has to go to summer bash and become more of a disappointment when he goes back to Indiana. Rob, you're already a disappointment already, so you should be used to it.
Don't talk about Rob.
Hey,
have some respect.
Are you coming to summer bash, Rob?
Oh, you didn't pay attention earlier when I said when the real ones walked out of Summer Bash as the new IMF Tag Team Champions? You see, you may not remember that soldier, but hey, hey, 3 months ago, we were called out, right? We were called out by the Tag Team Champions of IMF. And yet they posted a video not too long ago stating that their first title defense is going to be at Summer Bash. 3 months, 0 title defenses. What did we do when we were tag team champions of XCW? How many title defenses, show after show?
Yeah,
we defended them.
But when it mattered and you defended against people that mattered, you got counted out.
And by the way, we held your tag titles way better than you held them. Congrats.
Now, but since you did say you guys are coming to Summer Bash, and talking all this shit, and yes, I'm gonna whoop your ass this Saturday. Plain and simple, Mr. Parsons. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. But at Summer Bash, hold on. At Summer Bash, fuck the tag team championships right now. This is bigger than that. Listen, we are 1 to your 1. That is 1 and 1, and it seems like the real ones are gonna be at Summer Bash. So is the foundation. So I think the match that means the most for Summer Bash would be the real ones versus Foundation Part 3 to find out who the best of the best is.
The rubber match. The rubber match.
Nut up or shut up.
Hey, by the way, Rob, I don't know if you know this, but your good old JP there is already trying to replace you with Anthony Steele. So
listen to him, Rob.
It's
a business thing.
Hey, listen. You can play all the mind games you want. We've been there, okay? You can play all the mind games you want.
You know what? Justin Parsley
is a real one and wants to bring him in. He can bring him in.
But you know what? I gotta say it.
He's getting rid of you.
Okay.
But you know what, though? I gotta say it.
You said if you want to bring in Anthony Steele, you can bring in Anthony Steele, right? So then that's the real one, the real deal ones or whatever. That's fine. We can make it a 6-man tag. We have plenty of brothers. And, off the top of my head, I know Jovi wants a shot at Steele. So what about the 2 of us and Jovi versus the 2 of you and Steele? Night 3, Summer Bash.
After you want to have they're going to beat your guys' ass in the Ultimate X match.
You want to have the Foundation versus the real Foundation. Tag match.
XCW stars reunited. Anthony Steele back in XCW talent. Oh boy, hell is frozen over.
Another match.
I got a name for you guys.
Bob, you can't even hit a real super kick. The last super kick I saw you hit up to kick him in his chin.
Hey,
you know what? I got this.
I'll do this.
Rob, I got you on this. If this is gonna happen, this 6-man match, the Foundation versus the real controversial team, maybe the most real controversial team in backyard and underground wrestling history. I mean, think about this. Justin Parsley and Anthony Steele, the controversy between those 2 men, and Rob Slater, the now supposed boogeyman slayer. I mean, this would be a real controversial team. I mean, this is the most real controversial team against the Foundation. Oh boy, you're only going to see this July 5th, July 7th, the Summer Bash, and certainly go to the IMF and DKW's Facebook and YouTube pages for more information. But boy, I mean, it sounds like this is going to dive.
We'll make it even better for you guys because we don't want you guys to pussy out and back out and call and be like, "Oh, we can't come because Flesh won't let us." So yeah, all our team is all world champions, and I can speak for Jovi because Jovi's a brother and he knows what it is. We'll put them all on the line, fellas.
Right now, your team is all world champions. Come Saturday, that's not going to be a true statement.
Ah,
Right now, listen, Parsley,
ooh.
I'm sorry. You're just I told you last month when you came out and interrupted. What did I tell you? In the words of Goldberg, you're next. Plain and
Hey,
simple.
no hard
You're
feelings.
next.
I'll still put the title on the line in that 6-man tag too. I'll uphold your deal. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Deal. He said deals already. The deals are being cut. This is no controlled opposition here. This is real. All this.
These are singles titles, Rob.
Yeah. They weigh more than you, Parsley.
Hey,
You know, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. I think Skull said somebody better bring an extra pair of underwear. I don't know if I want to get involved in that, but thank you, Skulls, for the commentary. But I can tell you what Skulls has said is partially right. It's going to be more like an ass-kicking party, and it's all going to start coming up this Saturday. It's at Summer Heat. And, Champ, I'm going to let you have one more thing or one more question you want to ask Mr. Parsley before we get to closing thoughts.
You ran your mouth all this time, and when you step across the ring and you realize you fucked up, you go home empty-handed. Like, you go back to your locker room, that crappy-ass wrestling locker room, and they look at you. What's the first thing you're going to say? Oh, I shouldn't have fucked the soldier.
I guess it would be, I'll get him next time. But I won't have to worry about that. And it's not a crappy wrestling locker room. XCW is not a crappy wrestling company. The production value, they're a gold standard for what they are and what they do. And I will be more than happy to win your title and take it back there and hold it with all the pride and honor that it deserves.
Ooh.
I mean, you already had bad luck coming here. Yeah, you won, and then you joined the Saints. And then look what happened.
Your leader got suspended.
Your leader got suspended, and he took his ball and went home. Your teammate that helped you beat up me, he went from being Tommy the Man Merriman to Tommy the Bitch Merriman.
They're not these aren't the Saints. These people aren't. They're not Saint Francis. They don't do good things. There's nothing really redeemable about anything in Uric or Ox or
And
myself.
then you bring in Marty Jannetty.
Ooh.
You see, okay. You see, he told you. It's a good thing that Omen already has an opponent for Summer Heat. Because if he didn't,
Whoa.
Back to Indiana, we would have came world champion.
Hardcore champion.
You can't even say it. You're stuttering.
I got it for you.
You don't believe the shit that's coming out of your mouth.
Rob,
you are legit.
Rob, are you telling me that you want a shot at Omen Black on Saturday's show?
You're living off of his fame.
I'm just saying, anytime he wants a real challenge, let me know.
Well, I'll give you credit. I mean, Mr. Judgment, Craven Reigns.
Hey, when you want a real challenge, it's the day the boogeyman finally gets slayed.
Is he? Talk this man talk. I can make this match a triple threat, no problem.
Why would I want a triple threat, Omen? Why would I want another person involved when I could just have you one-on-one? Because then the other person attacks me, and now you got it easy because you don't got to face me one-on-one. Tell you what,
Rob,
you win your match. You win your match, and when Justin wins his match, the next IMF show, maybe even Summer Bash.
Well, this is getting interesting here.
You want to book me? You want to book for night 1, Omen Black versus Rob Slater. Night 2, Foundation versus the Real Foundation. Night 3, 6-man tag.
This is all I'm digging right now. What is going on here? We've lost control on Sportzwire Radio.
Ones to headline.
Rob, you should really watch what you say because showing up on night 1.
Skulls.
Because where it has it, the Michaels of the group can't be there until night 2. So night 1, you're going by yourself.
I can speak to myself about this. You know what, Rob? You want to challenge me for a title at Summer Bash? You know what? How about you step back in my fucking world?
Like I said, Omen, you win your match, and we'll talk.
He's got Matt 10. You know, Rob, I love you. Are you sure you want this? Are you sure?
Listen.
He wants to defend the hardcore title against you.
Hey, listen.
This
We're going to
title-
prove that not
hey,
only we are the best
hey,
tag
this
team,
shit,
that
listen,
we're the
hey,
better
Diz, I know it's
men.
kind of hard for you to
All
understand
of
words.
us.
This title's on the line in Summer Heat. You can get a shot at this at Summer Bash where I literally beat the shit out of you.
And he's mad right now because he's got people and other feds who were here yesterday. He's got Foundation brothers that didn't show up. I mean, this is all. Listen, chaos has descended upon Sportswire Radio. I mean, this is certainly all coming to fruition. The last 6 months, from what you've seen tonight between the Foundation and the real ones, it'll only basically happen this coming Saturday. The Palo Community Center is where the games really begin. The games really begin this Saturday between the likes of Justin Parsley and Soldier GP for that IMF World title. Could we be seeing Rob Slater wrestling Omen Black? But certainly at Summer Bash, these guys could be doing it in a 6-man tag, and the most controversial figure in history could be joining the real one.
I think it's funny that you want to keep you ran your mouth this whole fucking time you've been on here, but the moment Omen threw out the challenge, you shut your fucking mouth. You ain't said shit.
Because he wanted it to be a triple threat, Soldier. Why would
Oh
I accept
my
a triple
God.
threat?
He literally,
He offers me a
he literally
one-on-one.
just challenged you just at Summer Bash, 1-on-1 for his hardcore title.
And what did I say, Soldier?
You
Were
didn't
you not
say
listening?
shit. You just sat
Were you
there.
not listening? I said night 1, you want to book Rob Slater versus Omen Black 1-on-1 for the hardcore title. Night 2, you want to book Foundation versus the
He
Real
did say
Foundation
that.
in a tag match. Night 3, you want to book a 6-man tag. Go ahead. Use the real ones to headline all these shows for you to get your views.
All right, Rob, you got it. Night
You
one.
know-
You got it, buddy. Night 1, me and you finally get a singles title shot.
Oh my God!
For title.
Rob Slater, I mean, it looks like...
Hold on, Tom. I got this real quick.
Okay.
Hey, Rob. Now, when I beat your ass to a bloody pulp, just tell JJ that you did it to yourself.
Hey, Omen, did I strike a nerve there? Did I get you worked up? You see how those mind games work?
You know,
You see how they work? You can talk, but when I reverse the
I don't
situation,
go
look what
play for
happens.
a challenge. Especially you're my Central One piece of shit like this.
Hey, Omen, I can promise you this. It'll be the biggest match of your career.
It'll be the last match of your career.
Oh my God! You know, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think there's much more to say tonight other than you need to go out and support the IMF this Saturday. First of all, Palo Community Center. Doors open 5 o'clock. So you can go in the barbecue, go on the grill, go watch Inside Out 2 with the kids, maybe go watch Johnny's Little League game, and head on over to the Palo Community Center, where it's all going to rear its ugly head. And Justin Parsley, the only 3-time Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer, could be Hall of Famer number 4.
But you didn't answer my question from earlier. You're saying that if he beats me, he becomes Hall of Famer, another Hall of Famer. But what if when I beat him?
Foundation, baby.
Do I get in the Hall of Fame for the second time?
Okay, Soldier, let's say...
Do I get to answer? I'm going to let you speak for about 30 seconds, and I'm going to answer it. God. What do you want to say, Rob? So I'll tell you what. You know what? Actually, you know, we're live. I got this. We're live. I'll tell you what. The winner of this match, you know, we're gonna really raise the stakes a little bit. We're gonna raise the stakes because this is Sportswire. We're in prime time right now, and there's still 30 people watching right now. So people obviously they're enthralled right now. I'll tell you what, Soldier GP, if you win and you retain your IMF championship, yeah. You'll go into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame a second time. Yeah, we'll do a ceremony before July 3rd. We'll do one. We'll do it the following week. And you know what, Justin Parsley? If you win and you become the IMF World Champion, decide with whatever you do, you will become a 4-time Hall of Famer. So there, we're on the record. The winner of this match becomes a Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer again. Boy, that'll really upset some people, but that's how it is. Because that's Sportswire Radio, and that's how we do it. So the winner of this match, the stakes have been even raised further. The winner of this match,
no other way.
There'll be no other way, and that's how it's going to be. So the winner of this match, you get to become a Hall of Famer once again. We'll do another ceremony. We'll do this again. You know the people eat it up, and we'll do it right before Summer Bash. In prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage.
Hey, Rob, I just want to let you know, you're no Damian Saint, so you're just going to be a walk in the park, buddy.
Well, you know, ladies,
I do want to finish with this.
Sure.
So, Rob,
Sure.
if you get involved in any way with my match with Parsley, you won't make it to Summer Bash.
Ooh.
Don't take that away from me.
Why's that, Soldier? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna send you next to the same room as him in the hospital. Like I'm gonna beat the hell out of you. And you know I can, because I did it before.
We'll see.
Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I think obviously the talking has all ended. The only way this is going to be resolved is this Saturday, one more time, Palo Community Center. IMF Summer Heat. This is, to me, the true kickoff of summer. And we'll see it all rear its head one more time. Saints and Sinners Foundation, Real Ones Foundation, whatever you want to call it at this point. It's for that IMF World Championship, the most important prize right now in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit. It's the one championship where people pay to go and watch. Let me repeat, this is the one championship that people actually pay to go and watch. And it's Justin Parsley versus Soldier GP in the main event. If Justin Parsley wins, he takes that championship to Indiana, renames the championship. He unifies it. Maybe if Rob Slater finds a way to take the DKW championship, we'll certainly see if that's a long ways ahead. But the true winner of this match between Soldier GP and Justin Parsley will become a Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer for an additional time. There is a lot on the line, and that ceremony will take place July 1st, Monday night. So the winner of it, Monday night, goes into the Hall of Fame one more time. Justin Parsley's on a mission to be a 17-time Hall of Famer. Soldier GP's on a mission to end Justin Parsley's career in the main event. He wants to send him back to the mid-card. He's doing this all for Esther, and he talks about this and Kurt Acid, but Justin Parsley is doing it to be the Ric Flair of the Hall of Fames. But Soldier GP wants none of it. He wants to basically put Justin Parsley on a one-way ticket back to the great state of Indiana. Only time will tell. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody here for tuning in. You'll have more coverage with us for a couple of different times. I want to repeat tomorrow. Tomorrow night live, you need to be here, 9 o'clock throughout the entire evening. Brian White of IWA Deep South, Just Defeated Jimmy Controversy is here. 11 o'clock. None other than Judge Joe Dredd is here live. And Sunday, you better be here. 10 o'clock Eastern Time, Osiris, who just left ESW Shockwave, is granting the first interview, his first words, after what really happened at ESW Shockwave, and in between that, we're here at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, right after TBW Rampage 164. Speaking about those, we're going to talk about DBW. Chase Wakefield is live, and he's going to talk about his own experiences in DBW. You might want to tune into that one. Some of it you're going to like, some of it you may not. The only way you're going to find out is by tuning into all of that. Thank you so much, guys. Rob Slater, good to see you once again. Justin Parsley, Soldier GP, Omen Black, it's your show after all. I'm sure we'll see you a lot more often this week. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally of all wrestling matters. Please support the IMF. That's their YouTube channel. We're also on YouTube at Sportswire Radio 6579. Hit that sub button for us. If I get 1,000 subscribers, I'm getting a tattoo. I want to thank Zilla for your comments, Skulls. You hit the nail on the head. It's winner take all. Also, Il Drago, thank you for your comments about for Rob Slater. And I also want to say, if you're on SportsWireRadio.org, you're going back to your regular program. So until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. All on the number one. For the level station that is Sportswire Radio, the only platform that's on prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the church of all wrestling matters, where you only see us here, the only place you get this coverage. Thank you, everybody.